That's exactly right.
3:18 in the Southland. Are you ready on a Monday? Let's go. Sedano and Cap is on a Monday afternoon. With a little Morales on a Monday. How about that? Cappy's here. Producer D, back from a long weekend. Producer Lindsay Baseball. And Funchy's back there, too.
Yeah.
As we get ready on major announcement day number 1. I was proud to do it 5 hours and 18 minutes ago at 10 a. Actually, it was 10:04 because Travis was wasting time with Beto. I told him, why don't you vamp for like 90 seconds and then I'll come in.
Okay.
They're vamping about baseball and
Like
Mookie's hand and stuff. And I was just like, dude, I jumped in. I was like, enough with the vamping. Let's go. We got people.
Beto was talking over Travis.
We got people from USC listening. And we need to make the announcement. If you haven't heard yet, I am proud, 5 years in the making, to bring USC back to 710 ESPN. And it is so great to say, 710 ESPN, the home of the USC Trojans. This fall, you'll hear USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball right here on 710 AM and on the all-new ESPN LA app. Now, there's been a lot of questions.
Okay, like what?
Well, people just doing the arithmetic in their head.
What do you mean?
Does this mean more combo plates? Trojans Live is sometimes at 6 p.m. We're not done with announcements. So why don't you just take a deep breath and let the week ride, okay, homeboy and homegirl? Because we got a lot ahead this week here on 710 ESPN. Cappy, Father's Day?
Yeah, well, Father's Day
You have
yesterday.
like 20 kids, so what'd you get?
Well, you know what? It's funny you say that because one of my kids, the one that's really actually thoughtful, because, most of my kids, and there's 4 of them, but 3 of them all need something on Father's Day. One of them actually wants to give something on Father's Day. You understand?
Right.
And the one that said, Dad, I've got the greatest Father's Day gift for you. I was like, oh, my God, that's wonderful. Like, I'm really, really looking forward to this. Wow, somebody actually thought of me. What a wonderful thing. Are there dads out there, guys, who on Father's Day, like, it's like, hey, happy Father's Day. That's it. One of them actually said, Dad, I get you the greatest Father's Day gift ever. So she was just coming home from her like post-high school graduation. She went on a trip with some friends. And I was just getting home because I was out in the desert this past weekend.
You were in the desert?
Yeah, I was hanging out with Mason's mom and not stepdad Leo.
Were you really?
Not really. No, I was out in the desert, but not hanging out with them.
Oh, okay.
And so I got home.
Because they like to get after it, so,
How so?
Well, they like to have fun.
What kind of fun?
Just fun.
Okay, because the kind of fun I was having, I wasn't sure if they would be into it.
Maybe, maybe not.
Well, that's just it, is that if I knew that they were into that kind of fun, I might have hooked up with them.
What kind of fun were you having?
Well, Mace said to me, he goes, hey, do you want to go see the living desert zoo thingy that is his not stepdad Leo kind of runs? And I said to him, I go, well, Rachel has one question. Is there a bar? And then I didn't hear from Mace again. So if there wasn't a bar, we weren't going out in 115-degree temperatures to go look at like the one giraffe that lives out there. You know what I'm saying?
You're not wrong.
Right? Feel me? Like they got a rhino all up in it. Yeah. But I will tell you this: I was in Big D's crib this weekend.
Yeah.
I was in Palm Springs on Saturday. Hey, let me tell you something.
I heard that you might have drifted into a part of Palm Springs that's, they're having a lot of fun.
Well, I said to Mace, I go, Mace, you got any suggestions for me? Because I know you're out here all the time. And he didn't get back to me. I go, don't worry about it, bro. I found your place. I was at a bar called the Chill Bar. Okay? And let me tell you, what is that noise?
Chill Bar's a little,
What? It's what?
It's known for some stuff.
It is known for some stuff. I walked in.
What are they?
I walked in.
Want to know.
Well, here's the deal. I walked in, and it was like that scene from Animal House, when like all the white dudes walked in, and like Otis, and he stopped singing, like the record scratched. Like I walked in, and every guy, because there were only dudes in the place.
It's a gay bar.
Right. And every guy, I walk in, and every guy, like the record scratched, and they were like, everybody turned around, they're like, new meat. Just walked in. Right? Seriously. Because that was me, because they don't know me. They don't know me there. You know what I mean?
Cappy, you a freak, man.
And then I was like, what's up, everybody? Let's go. Let's just continue on. And then there was
Let's continue on. That's what you told them.
Well, because there was this drag queen who was like DJing and doing stand-up comedy, and she was like hosting a bingo game. I'm like, what the hell did I just walk into here? You know what I mean?
That sounds like fun.
It does sound like fun.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, me and the drag queen, we had to hang out together. We had to We had to,
Now,
get
see,
to,
if you and I would have walked in together, they would have thought, oh, he likes the bigger ones. And then you would have had a full plate all night.
Oh, dude.
If people knew you were ready, you were into bears?
If you and I walked in together, it would have been a very different experience. Luckily, I had Rachel with me. So they were like, oh, he's no fun, right?
Well, little do they know, Rachel's a lot of fun, actually.
Rachel's a ton of fun. She really is. So
By the way, I just Googled this place, and first of all, they have a great website. But this place looks like a lot of fun. Like, I want to go there.
Producer D, you ever been there?
No.
Of course not. He ain't going there.
I ain't going there.
He don't have what it takes to go in there.
I don't.
Actually, he might, actually.
He does, but he doesn't have the right mindset. Let me
Well, that might be.
rephrase.
You're
Yeah.
right about
Well, he's
that.
young.
Yeah, right. When you get comfortable with yourself, you find yourself in these kinds of situations.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Well,
you
listen,
will.
you got to have an open-minded.
Right.
And sometimes it's a lot of fun.
Right.
Well, I hear you, but I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I stay away from that type,
What? I mean, what?
No, I stay away from that, that area.
Coming up on the show,
That
not
area.
just talk about Cappy's Palm Springs adventures, but also Coach Lincoln Riley of yore. USC Trojans will join us around 4:15, and then 5:05 p.m. the great from Whittier, where the girls are prettier. Sean Cody, former USC Trojan there in the Carroll era. I first met Sean. I didn't know we grew up together and went to school together. I didn't know that in Hacienda
he
Heights.
knew it?
We later discovered doing a USC radio show over at Yahoo many years ago, on For Rivals, actually. But Sean Cody, I met him first when he was playing for the Texans in the later 2000s. So Sean Cody's a great guy, and we've done some stuff already with Sean Cody and his pizza joint, right?
Sean Cody's a great guy. So I had not met Sean before. I only knew of his reputation as a player at USC.
Right.
And he played with the Texans and
the Lions.
yes, he did. He wound up leaving the Texans, I think, through free agency and wound up going to the Lions. And by the way, he'll tell us the story. I mean, the Lions, these are not Jared Goff's Detroit Lions.
No.
These were the awful, can't win a game, can't get out of their way Lions. And so last year, Chris, I don't remember, but the day that we went to Covina for
The 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven day, Beto said, hey, guys, before we go to 7-Eleven, why don't we all meet at Sean Cody's pizza place, which, as I recall, had like a brewery right next door to it.
It's called Pie Trap.
Pie Trap's the name of the pizza place. So, dude, Sean Cody's got this pizza restaurant, and I'm telling you right now, Chris, it's worth the carbs. Okay? The road pie would be worth the carbs if you and I were getting some of Sean Cody's pizza pie. Really good.
I can't wait to taste Sean Cody's pizza pie.
Yeah, really good. He got a good pie.
And hopefully he's going to join us all football season, and we'll be spending a lot of time at the Pie Trap in
yeah,
Covina.
so we
Is it West Covina or in Covina? The Pie Trap.
Covina.
It's in
yeah.
Covina. Okay.
See how I made that distinction?
I do.
Yeah.
I understand.
Right.
Plus, George Sedano is live from TD Garden. NBA Finals Game 5 tonight. We'll bring it to you at 5:30 p.m., courtesy of ESPN Radio. You'll hear it on 710 a.m. and on the all-new ESPN LA app. Special thanks to Michelob Ultra making that possible. And we need a win tonight. I shouldn't say we, but the radio station needs a win from the Celtics. And I know that hurts a lot of Lakers fans.
Yep.
But if you really believe the Mavs are going to win this series, come on. We need George Sedano on an airplane home so he can rest up and get ready for Mandy's 3 on Saturday night.
Well, listen, first of all, the
Because
guy...
I'm going to get nervous if they got to play Thursday.
Yeah, the guy has been on the road. I don't know how long. It's got to be like 10, 11 days already on the road. Part of this traveling circus that started in Boston, went to Dallas, then finds itself back in Boston, and could find itself back in Dallas. I mean, he's been on the road for all these... I'll bet you this right now. I'll make a prediction. I say when George comes back, he starts complaining about how he needs to lose weight because it seems like every night they're going out to these fat dinners, these PJ Carlosimo
Yeah, but I saw him
dinners.
around the horn today. He looked good.
Oh, did he
and
look
then we
good?
did a Father's Day FaceTime yesterday.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah.
He's got a nice little haircut, too.
Oh, really? Nice
Yeah,
tight.
he's got the nice little part, too.
Yeah, he's been
he
doing
got
the
that-
part.
he does the part.
Yeah,
I
he's
think,
got
he,
the
I
part,
think he's
yeah.
taking on the JJ, like,
Oh, you know.
tight and like a little mini part
Yeah.
in there.
He's like, hey, JJ, what do you think of the haircut? Because when you become the coach of the Lakers, which should be like tomorrow, right? Like as soon as Boston wraps this thing up based on the conversations of this weekend that JJ Redick was getting an in-person interview with the Lakers, as soon as this thing is wrapped, the next day is when the Lakers should be having their press conference. In fact, I think I set it up for you guys a couple weeks ago. My dream scenario was the J.J. Redick hiring on like a Monday, the Bronny drafting on, let's say, like a Wednesday or a Thursday, and then LeBron with the opt-out and then the re-sign all within the same week for the Lakers. That was the big dream. So
Now, here's the thing. Mandy's 3 Saturday night at the Commerce Casino. It's going to start. Oh, doors will open at 4 o'clock,
Come on,
5:30
4
p.m.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Wow.
People want to get in there. They want to press the flesh.
Okay.
Around 5 o'clock, we'll begin the personality meet and greets.
Okay.
Then at 6:30 p.m., Tierra de Legacy will take the stage and warm things up. The Great East LA Band. And then Mandy's 3 starts around 8 o'clock. But we got a lot of stuff planned. It's the Mason Ireland 20th anniversary. By the way, now, we couldn't say this last week.
Tell me.
Your ticket is a raffle ticket in. You can win opening night tickets at Crypto.com Arena, opening day tickets at SoFi Stadium, and yes, now opening day tickets at the Coliseum.
Wow.
Just for being in the house at Mandy's 3. Get your tickets now. $25 seats available, ESPNLA.com. We will stop selling tickets tomorrow. So your last chance is tomorrow, probably shortly before 7 p.m. to buy tickets. And we're going to give some away tomorrow here on 710 ESPN on a live imaging Tuesday. And we got a major announcement. 4:30 p.m. tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
another
we got
major announcement.
We have another announcement
Well, it's
tomorrow.
not we. It's just we wanted to space them out. We did one in the morning. Now we
Okay.
do one in the afternoon.
Okay. Well, I'm excited
A lot
about
of
the
people
announcements.
wondering today if the major announcement had to do with your contract.
It did not.
It did not.
Yeah.
And with 11 days left,
Yeah. It's not looking
I
good.
think the road
It's not looking good.
is empty,
Yeah.
it appears.
It is not looking good. I mean, Radio Michael's got that countdown going in the Circle of Trust, and he's got it down to 11 days, and he's like, come on, man. Like, give me something here. And I got nothing for you. You know? I mean, it's just not looking good. I don't know what to tell you, man.
You've hurt me.
Well, I don't want to hurt you. You know I don't want to hurt you. There's nothing but love. Do you know that I actually spent 45 minutes on Saturday listening to 2 dudes and 1 pod and the interview that they did with you, Casper and Crypto, last week?
Let's talk about that next.
That was great.
Sedano and Cappy. Sedano's going to join us in a few minutes. The whole crew's here on a Monday afternoon, a major announcement Monday afternoon on LA's mega sports station. More fun and frivolity and a review, apparently, from Cappy of 2 dudes, 1 pod. That's next on 710. 27 minutes in front of 4 o'clock. Monday afternoon. Me and my Hebrew brother.
Yeah.
Will I be singing this to Cappy for the rest of the summer, or will he disappear in 11 days? That is the question up ahead. And also on this day, in 1989, the number one hit, NKOTB, New Kids on the Block. I'll be loving you forever, Cappy.
Oh, you know
Maybe,
that's true.
if we get that new contract.
Yeah, but if not, then I'll become like Keyshawn.
Speaking of Keyshawn, I talked to him today.
Yeah, how's he doing?
We had some surprises planned with him in this USC announcement, but apparently the Witness Protection Network.
Yeah.
Yo, you can't go on Big ESPN.
Hey, well, I mean, don't you think that they would have like an inferiority complex
I don't know.
about us?
Nonsense.
I know, but what?
But this is on him. He should have left.
Hey, by the way, Friday night.
Also, today is International Bath Day.
Okay, well then take one.
I like a good bath.
Yeah, nice bath is nice. Good for you.
I got a nice whirlpool in the house.
Yeah?
But I'm in a jacuzzi mood recently.
You got some Epsom salts or something?
So I'll put the Epsom salts in there.
Yeah?
You get like the hemp ones.
Yeah, you light some candles?
Oh, yeah. No.
Not romantic with yourself, huh?
No, it depends.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of times I'll just put on some Bolton, pour a little glass of red wine,
Uh-huh.
then BAM!
You're in the bath, huh?
I'm having a bath, sucker.
You're in
You
a
know,
bath.
we-
Red wine and Michael Bolton.
We brought this up on Friday.
You would be perfect for the chill bar, by the way, in
You
Palm
would be.
Springs.
Well, I think bears go over well at the chill bar in Palm Springs.
Okay.
But we were
Right,
talking.
DeAndre?
He's like, I don't even want to get into that combo.
Boy, I'd say if Funchy walked in, they'd be all over him.
Oh yeah, I like the attention. I'll take it.
I think Fungi would be open to it.
No,
Just
no,
from
no.
just for the fun of
I
it.
like the attention. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The attention.
So do you, Chris.
I do. Just like Charlie Puth once said, I just want attention.
So-
You guys know Charlie Puth?
No, I was gonna say, who's that?
No, none of us know.
That's
who
the-
You don't know who Charlie Puth is?
Come on.
Sure, I do.
That's
It's like
the,
2017 that hit.
Come on, tell us, Funch.
The Wiz Khalifa,
Yeah.
the Fast and Furious song.
Yeah.
That guy.
I have no idea who
Charlie
that guy
Puth.
is. Oh yeah.
Oh,
No.
yeah. I was going to say that.
Nope, I have no idea who he is.
Anyway.
What were you going to say, Linz, about the
No,
bath?
I was just gonna say the bathtubs. It was like Bathtub Day or something on Saturday,
Right.
National Bathtub Day. So we were talking about it Friday with corporate.
Oh, yeah, in the
Greg.
rejoin, I said Greg likes to play with a rubber ducky.
Yeah, and Greg was like very against baths. He was like, I'm not a bath guy. And Marcus was like, yeah, sometimes you want to chill and, like you said, light a candle and just kind of put on some music. And Greg was very against baths. He's like, no, I don't do that. I don't do baths.
No, he just has a rubber ducky in his office for some reason.
Yeah, it is a little weird, isn't it? It is a little
No
strange.
baths for Greg.
Right. Hey, Friday night, by the way, today's Monday, but Friday night, Christopher Arthur Morales, I saw you with the Mishbucha hoodie.
The Hebrew, in Hebrew.
Yes.
Mishbucha.
Right.
First of all, I don't know where you got those hoodies made. Oh, very nice hoodie, well-fitting,
Yeah, comfy too, right?
Very comfy.
Soft.
very comfy.
Yeah, nice. Soft, like the towels at the East Central. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But I saw you smoking a stogie.
Yeah.
And talking about the Mishbucha and talking about the Mandys.
And I was in the middle of a fast.
That's right. You were going on a 36-hour fast.
Evan Cohen the next morning, our great morning man, Evan Cohen, texted me and he goes, only you could wear Hebrew, Jumpman, smoke a cigar, and be in the fast simultaneously. It was good.
But you were talking about those $25 Mandy tickets.
Right. Available now at ESPNLA.com.
Right. So I love the fact that there's a second level
Yeah.
of a Mandy ticket. Because, look, I know that $49 seems like an amazing deal. Dinner, 2 drinks, the show, and everything. But there's guys out there that are like, yo, man, is there another level of ticket or something? Like, do I have to come have dinner? I don't drink, I don't want cocktails. So I think the fact that we've got this second level of ticket is great.
$25, ESPNLA.com. Last chance to get tickets is tomorrow after, probably at 7 p.m. when we sign off the air locally. I think that will be your last chance to get Mandy seats. We're also going to give some away tomorrow, too.
I don't know about everybody else here, but I am finding that and I don't use the word anxiety often, okay? But I'm having anxiety over my Mandy's fit.
You're getting close to you're really pushing it for time here. You need to order something like today or tomorrow, otherwise you're going to be screwed.
I know, and DeAndre and I and Funchy Lova were with Beto last week, and we were walking around the streets in like the fashion district, and I was looking at all these killer suits, but I just don't have the time right now to be going over there to get to buy the suit, to get fitted, the whole thing. So
what are you thinking? Like, what are you looking for?
I'm waiting for inspiration.
I have an idea. So I was looking at dresses because I still don't have one, and I think we should all wear the color purple because I want to wear purple, and we should all match. What do you think?
You want us all to wear purple?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you
show
could
up
go,
looking
like
Prince
Prince.
all up
Yeah,
in the info. You know what I'm saying?
and you can wear like the blouse. What is that? Like the The old-timey
The
blouse.
puffy shirt?
Yeah. The white one underneath.
Pirate shirt?
Yes, the pirate one. Thank you, Funch.
Okay.
What do you think? I feel like that would be a good look for you.
You know what? I'm not opposed to it.
Okay.
I'm not opposed
Let's
to
talk after the show. We can, or maybe in the breaks, we'll try and find something on Amazon.
it. On Amazon. Okay. But I want to just start off today, though, because then George is going to come up, and then George is going to get hardcore about tonight's NBA Finals Game 5, right? And I definitely have a lot of other stuff I'd like to talk about this afternoon. The Dodgers, the situation with their injuries. I know that's been a theme all day so far today. We'll get to a lot of stuff coming up. But first, this announcement today about USC. I got to tell you, you said earlier, Chris, this is 5 years in the making. 4 years ago, when I came to ESPN LA, I was like, oh, dude, this is like the greatest radio station. They've got this. They got the Lakers. They've got the Rams. They've got USC football. And then I was corrected by somebody who said, no, we don't have USC football anymore. I'm like, oh, well, to me, that's where I always thought USC football was on the radio, because I always remember Mason hosting like the pregame show. Didn't he host the pregame show?
Years back, but yeah.
But then USC...
Now he just oversleeps and can't show up to meetings.
And apparently is suspended.
Well, John went back. John didn't want him suspended because then John didn't want to do the show. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
Those two.
Got it. But USC football coming back to 710, in my opinion, is a monster deal. Because now what we've got here is we've got the Lakers, which is the number one brand in town. We've got the Rams, which is the NFL team of LA. And you've got USC football, which means that every Saturday when there's 90,000 people in the Coliseum, and listen, I got it. For the last few years, and I'm going to say pre-Lincoln Riley, pre-Caleb, there were some times where the crowds were a little more sparse than people expect at a USC game at the Coliseum. Maybe because the opponent wasn't so exciting. Maybe because you weren't loving what was going on with the program at the time. But now, when you look at the schedule and you look at the conference and you look at how every game is going to look like a Rose Bowl game, especially until we get over the fact that USC has joined the Big Ten, I'm telling you right now, Saturday afternoons, the Coliseum, Chris, I'm guessing, will be plastered with signage that says ESPN 710 LA, right?
Most definitely.
Okay. And then the pregame show and everything that'll happen, I presume, from the stadium where lots and lots and lots of people are walking around. There'll be signage wrapped around that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So my point is that you're going to go to the Coliseum on Saturdays because the schedule is going to be exciting. The team's going to be good. The defense is certainly going to be improved. And everywhere you go on a Saturday at the Coliseum, you're going to see 710 everywhere.
Here's the thing. I said this morning when we made the announcement, and I truly believe this as somebody who's been an SC fan most of my life, part of which growing up with when Keyshawn was playing in the Rose Bowl game in 96 and the Cotton Bowl Classic. I believe that was 95 when he was the MVP. There is nothing like USC football on a Saturday. There is nothing like being at the Coliseum before tailgating and then watching the sunset at the Coliseum on a Saturday night. One of the best experiences. I put it up there for me, at least, as Dodger Stadium, watching the sunset from Dodger Stadium. Nothing like it.
And I really feel like a couple years ago when we were in the athletic director's box.
Yes, that was an amazing night, wasn't it?
Yes, and we sort of started that process.
Right.
You know,
and then we hit a few bumps.
There was a big bump along the way,
and
unfortunately.
Our friend,
yeah.
who began as our new play-by-play sales manager at the beginning of the year, the great Deshae Reynolds, he came in and gave us new life and has really... Without Deshae, this doesn't happen today. This amazing announcement that we are the new partners of the USC Trojans. So it took a team effort, truly, and Cappy got it rolling, and we got it to the finish line. And it's so amazing, as somebody who's been with this radio station back when they were involved with USC and partners, to now bringing them back. And listen, as I look at that helmet here in the studio, and if you're watching on YouTube, that helmet ain't going anywhere ever again.
No, we got to keep this. This time we keep it.
This time USC stays here.
Yeah, you know what the difference is? This is a partnership now.
Well, yeah.
Versus, hey, they're just on this station for the time being. When I look at the schedule this year, we got to go to this Penn State game for sure. Okay? That Penn State game is on October 12th. I look at this game, obviously Notre Dame on November 30th, but Wisconsin on September 28th. I see us spending a lot of Saturday afternoons and evenings at the Coliseum.
There will be nothing like when you mount me underneath the peristyle, right there, the peristyle at the Coliseum. Right. And people go, what's going on? Guys, this is part of the 710 experience.
Yeah, there's a public mounting going on.
Public mounting in front of the peristyle at the Coliseum.
I am so psyched that USC football. Now, look, I know men's basketball, and I realize there's a lot of excitement for USC's women's basketball. I realize all of those properties are now home on 710. But for me, USC football, it's the biggest thing going.
I am being told in my ear that
Mm-hmm.
one George Sedano is drinking lemon water, preparing the voice, because he's almost ready to make his appearance on his own show.
He asked if we'd gone to break yet because he's going to take a call really quick. If
What,
not,
who's on the phone?
I don't know. I
Is
didn't
it
ask him.
his future replacement for Cappy
I
because
don't
he
know.
won't sign his contract?
He muted his microphone, so it must be serious.
Hashtag do the right thing, Cappy. All right, what do you
what
want
it
to
is?
say?
It's probably JJ Reddick calling,
Oh,
going, "Hey man,
probably.
press conference probably going to be tomorrow." You know,
Or maybe it's JJ saying, "Hey man, I like that new haircut."
right?
I got the new haircut. Do you
Right.
know? Are you using the product I use?
Hey George, what do you want to do? Do you want to be like the head of PR, like when I become the Lakers guy? Like we'll have the same haircut.
Boy, that is the Lakers PR machine in spin mode.
Thank you, Canty.
Man.
Thank you, Kirst Canty. Anyway, 4:15 p.m. Sedano's next on 710.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise.
12 minutes in front of 4 o'clock on a Monday afternoon. Sedano and Cappy. Major announcement Monday. Oh, by the way, my hips don't lie, Cappy. On this day in 2006, the number one hit, Shakira, featuring Wyclef, Hips Don't Lie.
Ooh, nice.
If we didn't have Sedano on hold ready to talk to us,
right,
I would definitely, I'd move the hips for you. But maybe I'll do it later.
Okay.
Because today's a day to feel good. The USC Trojans are back on 710 ESPN. In about 30 minutes, we will talk to USC football head coach.
He's on the phone, stand by.
What?
He's still on his call.
Oh.
Wait, Sedano's on a call?
Was that a drop?
No.
Who said that?
No,
Who said
that was the engineer back at the arena.
That's amazing.
Oh, no way. The engineer just
It was
said
not
that?
Pizza Cone, Cappy.
I honestly, I thought it was like fun. Going, he's on his call.
That was incredible.
It was not Pizza Cone.
Who's the engineer? What's the engineer?
Yeah, got the engineer up.
Yeah,
Name's Sully.
Sully?
Will you stop?
Where's Sully,
talk
the
to
engineer?
Sully.
I want to talk to Sully.
No,
Wonder what
George
he
is
thinks
back.
about
George is
tonight's
back.
game
He's
5.
there. He's there.
Will you guys stop being such children, for God's sake?
Well, George, you don't know what just
I had to take a phone
No,
call.
George, hold on. George, calm down for a second. Here's what just happened on the air. Let's explain it to you. I was setting you up, big grand intro, and there's a voice out of nowhere goes, he's still on a call. And apparently that's Sully, the engineer.
No, it's not.
So-
It's Al Rosenberg, who's one of the
Al
greatest
Rosenberg.
engineers in the
What's up, Al?
history of this company. So you better be respectful.
Al
Nobody
I'll
told us.
kick your asses.
Fun just said it was Sully.
Yeah, we didn't know. Who's
How
Sully?
am I supposed to
Sully's
know?
the pilot that landed the
We don't
plane in the river.
do
thought
local
every guy from Boston
engineers
was
for the
Sully.
NBA Finals. What's wrong with you? We only have the best of the best here.
Al Rosenberg. Let me tell you something. You tell Al Rosenberg that
Apologize
his
for
boy
this
Scott
nonsense.
Kaplan
Sorry, Al.
says what's going on. All right.
Scott Kaplan
That's
says
right.
hello.
That's
Al.
exactly
He just gave me
right.
the thumbs up, Captain.
That's right.
Meanwhile, we now go to Boston from the TD Garden. And one George Sedano, who will be joining us now here for a little bit, talk to Lincoln Riley all together. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
The next
gonna be
hour
good.
of content.
George.
Cappy and I spoke to him this morning, so
Right. George.
he was wide awake and ready to roll
He
very
was.
early this morning.
Well, let me. I'm going to push you around a little bit here. Start me off with this.
Yeah.
I was just telling Chris before the break how stoked I am about USC football coming back to 710. I was telling Chris that 4 years ago when I started here, I was bragging to people, I'm going to the radio station that's got the Rams and it's got the Lakers and USC football. And everybody's like, oh, USC football's not on 710 anymore. Like, I literally did not know.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, USC football and 710 were synonymous. So
Yes.
what do you think about today's announcement?
Oh, I think it's fantastic. Look, I think that, and you'll hear it when we introduce Lincoln Riley, that this is their home and this is where they belong. And yeah, look, they weren't here for a little while, but you know what? Thanks to our friends at Good Karma Broadcasting, right? And I think Chris and Deshay and a bunch of people who put in a lot of effort towards this on our end, and of course the great USC people that put effort into this, they're back home, baby, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and I just want to say right now that I need 8 field passes
for
the
love
Notre
of
Dame
God.
game.
Here we go.
I won't bring it up to Lincoln Riley today because I want to establish a relationship before I go asking for things.
Yeah.
And then Chris, I don't know if this is
Well,
in the
you
deal
know-
or not.
Coach Riley is all business, man.
I know he is, but I'll get him to where I want him. Chris, I don't know if it's in the deal yet or not.
Yes.
Do I have like athletic director suite passes for home games? Because I swear to you, there's never been a spread of food
It was pretty amazing.
like what they put on for the donors at USC. Those people pay big money for those suites, and they make sure that they take care of those folks. So we got to make sure we have athletic director suite tickets. You know what I'm saying?
I got to be honest.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't mind just sitting with the normal people.
You don't.
Yeah. Saturday nights at the Coliseum are amazing. I don't care where I sit.
Okay.
So I'm not like you. I
But
don't
what
need
about
to be.
the giant shrimp cocktail?
I have a lot of shrimp cocktail in my life.
I know, but this shrimp cocktail's like the size of my arm.
I understand. But you know the Costco shrimp cocktail will get you by, baby.
Okay.
I just want to be back at the Coliseum Saturday nights. This is huge for us. It's going to be huge. And listen, one day, you never know. George Sedano and you could be part of the broadcast. If you
Hey.
keep playing your cards right, and maybe you sign that contract, you stinking scumbag.
Yeah. George, there's also rumors that there will be a public mounting of Morales.
At the Peristyle.
Right. What do you think of that?
That there'll be what?
That
You heard
Cappy
me.
will mount game 1 at the Coliseum. In front of the Peristyle, we will promote that Cappy will mount me for 90,000 people. A public
I
mounting.
I thought that was only for the YouTube audience on, in the studio. So, I mean, if you're taking it public, I mean,
Yep.
that's a different deal.
Ask Al Rosenberg, the great Al Rosenberg, if he's ever engineered a live mounting.
No, probably not. He's engineered a lot of stuff, but probably nothing that you would do.
He's like, George, who are these people?
Right. George, when I look at the USC schedule,
Yeah,
Chris
very
and I
tough.
Are already starting to make our plans. Now, you'll be on the road with a lot of college football in the ACC.
Yeah.
But I want you to at least take a look at your calendar. September 28th, USC hosts Wisconsin. October 12th, USC hosts Penn State. And November 30th, USC hosts Notre Dame. Those are 3 games that I know are already on my calendar of gotta be there kinds of games.
Oh, I mean, listen, they have a ton of those if you look at it. I mean, it's starting with the LSU game. I mean, they go to the Big House week 3, and those games that you mentioned, obviously, are huge games. Every game of theirs is going to feel big. And I will say there will be this interesting novelty to it early on in the move to the Big Ten because there's going to be all these teams that are going to be facing off against each other that we haven't seen play on a regular basis. So I think that it's going to be fun. And the beauty of, having the games that I have is that I have long flights back. So I'll be able to either watch them live if they're playing when I'm flying back, or I'll be able to watch it back on my laptop if they've already played, and it'll be fun. I am super excited to have college football back, big-time college football back here on 710 ESPN.
By the way, I think that this year, because we are now the USC radio station and the partner, that on November 23rd, we invade the Rose Bowl and bring listeners with us.
Oh, that's a great idea.
We invade those stinking Bruins. I loved watching Corporate Greg and Ireland's face drop today. Oh, it was so nice. And we have a couple Bruins in the back, MCs. They're so sad today.
You know what else? That actually brings up another good idea. You know what we should do? We should start to do the ESPN LA 710 tailgate party at USC home games. And then, to your point, when they go on the road cross town and they go over to the Rose Bowl and they play at UCLA, then we should take the tailgate party on the road with us. And what we should do is we should get a bunch of our partners who are in like the barbecue business or like the smoker type business. And then we should get some chefs. You know, maybe we get the guys from Tequila Mandala. They got that meat shop, you know, that butcher shop they got.
The meat company.
shop?
The meat company in Los Alamitos.
That place.
Yeah.
And what we should do, and then Tequila Mandala and some Tito's. And
Always
some Coors
swipe right.
Light,
Oh, yeah.
all of it. And we get all of our partners and we're like, hey, you guys are going to be part of our tailgate party on Saturday. Then, Chris, you could work the grill.
I could. I'm great with meat.
What do you think? George, you could even do, you could give us your special steak recipe.
Okay, I will.
You know? We'll take a thermometer, stick it in there.
No thermometer, bro. I go by feel. I know
So
what's
he does
going
the
on.
whole thing. He taught me, like, you know how you use your hand as a guide?
Yeah.
He'll touch the meat, and then he knows by the way it feels.
Oh.
Is that medium rare? Is that rare? Is that medium?
Oh, you're a feel guy, not a thermometer
No, I don't
guy.
feel the actual meat. I just, by timing and the way the fire's going, I can tell.
Okay.
Wait, did you say that you don't feel the meat?
That's going in the open.
Said I can feel the actual meat.
No, I said I don't feel the actual meat. Yes.
I, on the other hand, would want to put my hand on the meat. I got to be honest with you.
It's just like back-to-back drops right there.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so, George, listen. Top of the hour. Actually, we're not going to break, right? We're going to sweep all the way through to
You're
12.
doing why are you doing a reset like it's 1988?
Because
Top of the hour coming up after CBS News.
Because I thought
we'll
we were-
break down the economy, local economy.
Hey,
exactly.
Coming up.
ABC News.
Right. News from the Middle East.
I'm Scott Kaplan.
Right. And Apple stock continues to soar.
And Cappy's a rich man.
The tech rally coming up. No, the reason I was asking,
And tonight on Nightline.
I want George to break. I want George to actually talk to us a little bit about what's going to happen tonight. George,
We know it has to happen.
Yeah, George, have you spoken to anybody with the Celtics and explained to them that Saturday is the Mandy's and that this thing has to end?
I have not. No, I have not told them that.
You've not.
But I think they have their own motivation to win tonight. I don't think they need me.
I was on a call earlier with the great Craig Karmazin, our founder and CEO, and when I brought up the PJ, he didn't seem that enthused.
Yeah, I don't think he would be. Yeah.
So I don't know if the PJ's ready for.
Listen, you better hope that the Celtics. I know that's anti what people there will want to believe, but if the Celtics don't win tonight, we're in real danger at that point.
But I have a
of me
question.
missing the Mandy's.
JJ made it back to LA and then back out, right?
Right. JJ also had the Lakers situation. So that's
so
a
he
little
had a
different.
PJ.
So there's a PJ.
But I have
He
a
had a
question
PJ.
about that.
I gotcha.
When did JJ Redick actually interview
Saturday.
with the Lakers? On Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. And so did he leave Dallas?
Saturday morning, he was on a 6 a.m. flight out there.
So not a private jet.
No, he said a flight.
He was commercial out there, I believe. I don't know if he flew back commercial or not.
Okay. So was there any?
I haven't
thought-
asked him.
Well, how do you know this then?
Well, I know that part of it.
Because remember, George was going to go back too, remember?
Well, I was
Right.
going to ask you.
A bunch of us were all going to be on the same flight. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay, what I was thinking was that if J.J. Redick had the Lakers pull a private jet for him, which, by the way.
By the way, I actually had dinner last night with Dave McMiniman and Malika. And Dave McMiniman, if we don't have a Game 7, would love to come to the Mandy's. And I think Malika said she would accompany him.
Oh, yeah.
So.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Christopher, now I'm going to ask you, because last year I took the liberty.
They were very interested.
You're not allowed to take the liberty.
Okay.
If George talks
Chris,
to him,
they were Dave was singing the virtues of the Mandy's and how much fun it was. So.
But remember,
That's awesome.
a year ago, I took the liberty.
You're not allowed to take the liberty.
I said,
we will
Dave,
figure it out.
I said, I want you to come and be my guest at the Mandy's. Dave said, geez, that's really generous. I'd love to. He came. We had a wonderful time. Like when a guy is talking to an attractive woman and he can't not look down, but you're supposed to try and look the attractive woman in the eyes? That was Dave last year to me. He was looking at me because I was shirtless, remember, underneath the jacket. Right. So Dave was looking at my boobs the entire time. Okay, he never once made eye contact with me. But then we hugged it out, and when he squeezed me tight, I was like, what's going on with this guy? But it was because he was looking at me the whole time, right?
4 o'clock at KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
So here's my question. So I made this generous overture last year to Dave McMiniman.
Yes.
And now George is saying that Dave wants to come back. He wants to be a regular.
Okay.
He was singing the virtues. We were sitting there. We had dinner last night, me and them, and a couple of people who work for the league. And they were like, what are the Mandy's? And then Dave explained it, and then I filled in a very small gap here or there. But Dave was very much singing the virtues of the Mandy's.
He was like, at first he was like, he called me before. He's like, so what am I getting myself into? Like, what exactly is this? I was like, oh, this isn't
that
like
was last year.
Yeah,
right,
yeah. He was like, this isn't like a black tie thing, right? I was like, no. It is not a black tie thing, man. I couldn't explain it, you know? So
right.
he
he definitely said it was a really fun time.
Is Dave McMiniman and Malika, are there tickets available for them, Christopher?
Well, we want them to be close to us, so we might have to figure out how that happens, but I'll look into it.
Okay. And do we have assigned tables? Like, in other words, if I wanted to call Dave McMiniman and say, Dave,
you're not allowed to call.
Come to my table.
Why are you trying to get credit for this?
Well, credit for what?
Sedano had dinner with them. They're not going to go, oh, yeah, Cappy, thanks for inviting us. You're not going to get credit this year for this.
Well, I don't want credit. I want Malika to sit at my table.
Well,
Dave can
that's
sit at
not
another
possible.
table.
The table's full.
Dave can sit somewhere else.
The table, I think, is full, but I'll double check.
Okay, who's at my table?
Your team?
Oh, it's all of us. Oh, all right. George, you want to tell Dave and Malika they can join us?
Sure, I could tell them that for sure.
I mean, because you got me, you, Big D. D, you bringing a date? You bringing your lady?
I'm bringing my girl, yes.
You're bringing your girl?
That's right.
Is that right? And is Parker bringing her sister?
Oh, man.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Okay. Wow. And then, Funchy Lover, are you bringing your wife?
Wifey's not coming. I'm going solo.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Lindsay, is Chewy coming?
I think so. I think Chewy's going to make an appearance.
Okay. And
hopefully he doesn't make any, there's no accidents on the red carpet.
All right. Well, otherwise,
but
Chris
if
would have
there
to clean it
is,
up. Yeah.
exactly.
I swear to God.
If there is, Chris will be there.
Cappy, you asked me if I had told anyone with the Celtics about the Mandy's. I did not. But we did have a Mandy's discussion here. But I feel like everyone here is waiting to see how this unfolds tonight because the crowd outside. I'm not joking. Is already a little raucous, is what I would say, outside this building as we were walking in today. It was intense out there. Like, people are ready to have a good time here today. And I feel like it'll be interesting because this team in the playoffs over the last couple years has definitely dropped one they shouldn't at home. And if it happens tonight, I feel like this place could turn on them a little bit in that regard.
Do you have a police escort to get you and the team out tonight?
We have ESPN security if we need to, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Just was wondering. Because, if they win tonight, Boston's going to lose it.
We'd be in the building for a while in that scenario anyway.
But still, when you get out on the streets, a police escort.
Oh, no,
nice
it'll
thing
be
to
wild.
have.
But yeah, we do have we have a number of ESPN security people here to help us on a very regular basis while we're on the road. So we're always just a phone call away, and there could be someone that could escort us if needed. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Is this person like a former Navy SEAL?
I mean, most of them are. Yeah,
Okay.
they're all like
Just wanna
former
make sure.
Army, military, law enforcement, something. Yeah.
Okay, got it. And Pizza
They have
Cohen
now
is
gone
not
to the
one of those
private
guys.
sector, as they
No.
said.
I don't think Pizza Cohen is on the security team.
No, he's not.
No.
So wait.
He's busy flipping dough. You know
George,
what I'm saying?
if you're there and they win and the series ends, obviously, like, do you guys
Right.
go out and party afterwards since everyone's
Well,
leaving in the
no, I
morning?
mean, we're not going out and party. We
Well, I
go
mean,
out
well,
every
we have
night
drinks.
anyway for dinner anyway. So, yeah, we have a spot that is staying open just for us.
Oh,
and,
okay.
we will go there one way or another, win or lose.
Okay, so if Boston wins and ends this series tonight, are you on the air in studio tomorrow?
Probably not in studio, depending on how much sleep I get, but I'm definitely on the air tomorrow for sure.
All right, this guy's a warrior.
And if they win, if the Mavs win, he's going
Then
back
I'm on
to
my
Babe.
way to Dallas, buddy.
Going
Yeah.
back to Babe.
Then we're going back to Nick and Sam's for a late night there.
Damn it. We can't have you out. This needs to end tonight for Mandy's purposes. 5 minutes after 4 o'clock. Don't forget, Weekend Riley's going to join us in about 15 minutes or so. We've got more fun and frivolity. But, George, why don't you tell us about our friends at Next Gen?
Oh, let me tell you about our friends at Next Gen. Well, here's the thing. You can get Next Gen is the official AC heat and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans. And I know you know that now because I've told you that so many times. And they got thousands of 5-star reviews online to prove it. But here's the thing. The only review you need is my review, okay? I had a drain problem at my house. My daughter's hair and stuck in the drain. And it's like, oh, my God. I tried all the over-the-counter products at one point, and it was just like it didn't work. So I called NextGen at 833-3-NEXTGEN. That's 833-3-NEXGEN. And they came over, and they took care of business for me, okay? For $88, they took care of business, the drain cleaning, camera inspection, all good to go thanks to our friends at NextGen, man. So, look, if you're sick of dealing with a slow drain, just call NextGen at 833-3-NEXTGEN. That's 833-3-NEXGEN. And say goodbye to all your drain problems, all your AC problems, your heating problems, or your plumbing problems, as I just mentioned. NextGen includes water, plumbing, heater, AC, safety inspections. It's getting hot, man. It's getting hot out there. You better get that AC checked. All right, so call NextGen at 833-3-NEXTGen. NextGen is the only name you need to remember for a safe and comfy home. All right, so call them, 833-3-NEXTGen. That's 833-3-NEXGEN. Or visit them online at nextgenairandplumbing.com to schedule your appointment today.
Beautiful.
Nicely done. Very, very nicely done. Now, I want to get back to something that you started talking about, which was J.J. Redick flying on Saturday morning, you said. Is that right?
Yeah.
To L.A. to meet with the Lakers.
Correct.
And
that's all I know. I have not seen him since. I have not talked to him. I have not seen him at the arena today. I have not seen him at the hotel. So if you're asking me those questions, those are the answers.
He's cutting it kind of close, flying back this late, you know?
No, he was back
kidding.
yesterday, I
I'm
heard.
kidding.
Oh, you heard?
Yeah, I heard.
But you didn't see him.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he went back to New York to his family first. I don't know.
You know,
Like,
George,
he was here. He was here. He was here yesterday. Oh no, he was here yesterday because we had media availability. Like we have our own, like the TV people and us, the radio people, have our own like green rooms where they bring people to us. So yeah, he was here yesterday for that.
Cap is still like working under the idea that Dan Hurley was maybe never even here in LA. Just so you know.
Like that, it never happened. Like it incepted it into our brains,
Correct.
like in a Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
No one saw him.
I'm just saying that I'm not saying that Dan Hurley didn't talk to the Lakers. I'm just saying that I don't know that Dan.
So
Hurley
you think
flew
his
out.
wife would like talk to the local news in Connecticut just for like the hell of it? Like,
Well, did she say anything about like, hey, I was in L.A., I was working Rodeo Drive?
I mean,
I
I don't know.
there
That feels
buying
like a
stuff?
lot to do. Like, like I don't know. I mean, that one's even like out there for you.
What, that he wasn't here?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like
No
Mr.
pictures or,
Conspiracy Theory guy, but it just occurs to me that it happened so fast, and that he got. If he did come out, if Dan Hurley came out, and by the way, he's ancient history at this point, but if he did come out from Connecticut, from New York, just for like a one-day, hi, how are you? I got to hurry up and get back to see Billy Joel, then to me, he probably wasn't all that serious. And or the Lakers, offer, frankly, which we've all read about, it wasn't all that compelling. Nonetheless, though, J.J. Redick, if he did fly out, which you say he did, and he flew commercial, and they flew Dan Hurley out private. If I'm
What do you care? Like, why? Who cares?
Well, that's an important thing because you know what's going to happen because then J.J. Redick's going to know his value to the Lakers.
I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think, he.
But you got to understand, George.
Sure it does.
This is how Cappy lives his life. For instance, if we had a big trip and you flew first class and Cappy didn't, can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Well, I'd twist that. I would twist that.
in
I'd
the
be
deal.
like,
You know what I mean? Like, that's just it. You got to get it in your deal. Man.
Right, but I would twist it, and I'd be like,
by the
hey,
way,
I
you
fly
make it
back
seem
here with
like
the
if he
regular
flew
people.
commercial, you make it seem like he was flying in 35D. You know what I mean? Like,
that's exactly my seat.
He's probably got a full lay-down seat heading over, back to L.A. where he could sleep.
Hey,
you know what
let
I
me
mean?
tell you something. You'd have been very proud of me this morning. I actually booked my own flight.
Good for you.
I booked my own flight. I thought about it. I really put time into it.
You thought about it. That's tough for you.
No, it is. Because a lot of times I just rush through these things and I don't really put thought into them. I actually put thought, where should I fly out of? Where should I lay over? Or, because you guys, I'm going to tell you guys right now, you put a lot of pressure on me, and you guys have airline shamed me. Just so you know, George, okay? You've airline shamed me. Do you know that the only flight from LAX to get me to Pittsburgh to go visit my son for the 4th of July,
Spirit.
The only direct flight, 4 hours and 14 minutes, Spirit Airlines.
Yep.
9:34 departure, 5:15 a.m. arrival. But because you guys have so shamed me about my use of Spirit Airlines, I was even going to upgrade to the first class seats, not first class service, first class seats.
No, they're just called the big front seats.
Okay,
Get it straight.
Yeah, the big front seat.
I was even going to upgrade to the big front seat on Spirit, and I was going to use my brand new Spirit Airlines credit card that is still in the envelope in my desk drawer, but I have been airline shamed.
So what'd you do? You got a layover?
American Airlines.
Okay.
And I'll tell you something else.
Yeah.
I've been so airline shamed that instead of booking basic economy, I upgraded to whatever the next level
Economy
up is.
Plus?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Cap.
Mm.
Here, I have a tip for you, Cap. Stick with one airline as much as humanly possible, because then you save up points and then you get the free trips.
Well, in this particular case, Delta was like ridiculously expensive.
Well, just stick with one airline. Pick one.
Anyway, so George, back to JJ Redick. Is it true that you have copied his haircut?
No, I don't think I've copied. We have a different haircut, but
okay. Well, I'll disagree with you on that.
His is a lot poofier up top. He keeps it very long on the top, like I do not.
What about the part thing that you got cooking?
Well, that
that
thing,
is new,
PJ
George.
just pushed me. Wait! You just got pushed by PJ Bellissimo.
Yeah, but I don't remember you ever having a part, and I've known you quite a long time.
So I went to a barber shop, and the guy was like, "Do you want to do something? You want to do a hard part?" I'm like, "You know what? I've never tried it. Let's do it."
Cappy, have you ever done a hard part?
This is going to be a little
I like
embarrassing.
it. It's nice.
You know,
That's a bold move, though, to do it with like a new hairstylist, because you go to the same person every time out here. So it's kind of a bold move, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess, especially doing it with somebody. Everyone has said to me that it was bold to go someplace I'd never been.
Right.
But I'm like, all right. I mean, it's not like my hair is that complicated. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. I mean,
not like this hair
pretty
right
easy.
here. This is complicated.
Right.
This
so
right here
it's
is
pretty hard to screw up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I mean, in honor of your new part, I'm going to part my hair down the middle.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to part it right down the middle. I am. When you get back here and you're in this studio and you've got that cool looking part, I'm parting my hair right down the middle, man.
Okay. The only thing with the hard part is you got to cut your hair more often.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
Otherwise, it doesn't
That's
show
the
up.
catch.
Did you get any
Correct.
lines?
It starts to fade a little bit. Right.
You get any lines in your eyebrows to match it?
No. What is wrong with you?
Don't you remember when Mason did that bit?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember it. He cut himself. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were trying to use like face shavers or something on his eyebrows.
No, I know.
That was weird.
Yeah. So yeah, Cappy, it just I got a fresh cut this afternoon actually.
I know everybody was bragging about it. They're like, "Did you see George on Around the Horn?" I mean, he was on Horn today, and he's got that new cool part. And I was like, "I didn't."
He was on Horn.
I was on Horn today.
He was
I did.
on Horn.
I did. As soon as I was done with Lincoln Riley, I jumped on the Horn call.
This guy, you got to.
I jumped on the Horn to get with Horn.
The hustle, and the grind. It never stops. Okay, and my man Sedano is out there hustling and grinding.
Hey there.
Yeah.
I'm George Sedano.
All right, hey, Lincoln Riley's coming up next. You ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are gone. That's it. We're done.
Well, everybody will hear you in about an hour and 20 minutes as we'll join the NBA Finals Game 5, courtesy of ESPN
oh, okay.
Radio.
No, but we're gonna. How long is the Lincoln Riley? How long did it end up being? It was like I felt like we talked to him for a good amount of time about a lot of
about
stuff.
20 minutes. So.
All right, I'm very excited. For those that didn't hear it, if you love college football, if you love USC, you're going to want to hear this conversation with Lincoln Riley. I thought he was really good with us in regards to just taking a lot of time. Cappy, would you agree?
Oh,
right?
man, he was very generous with his time this morning. That's exactly right.
Answered all our questions, and so it was good. It was fun. You'll want to listen to it if you're a USC fan.
That's exactly right. All right, George, listen, have a great broadcast tonight. Let's
Thank you.
all root for Boston to win so that you can come home and get off the road and we can get you back to us rather than having to share you with all of your ESPN basketball brethren.
You know it's been a long trip when the caffeine is not working anymore. Like, that's when you know it's bad.
That's when you got to go to the harder stuff.
The pixie dust.
I'm good. Yeah,
You sure?
Thanks.
I got something for you.
It's all good.
He's got a guy.
Maybe I'll do the smelling salts. Who was that guy that was doing the smelling salts we did that story about?
Oh, I forget.
It was on Radio Tinder.
I know. I forget who it was.
It was an athlete. There was like a team. Was it like a college baseball team or something?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was.
Oh, you mean that college baseball team that was sniffing the smelling salts? That one? I don't remember that story.
All right, George.
All right,
Have a great game tonight.
All right, Georgie. All right, Sedano's stopping in for an extended visit. But coming up next, our conversation early this morning. Can I tell everybody? I'm just going to tell everybody this because everybody now knows it's on tape.
Well, George did it.
Right. 7 a.m. this morning, Lincoln Riley's in his car, and me and Sedano are interviewing Lincoln Riley early this morning. Very generous with his time. We cover a lot of topics. Lincoln Riley next on Sedano and Cap here on 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN. 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans.
My mother, God rest her soul. Lord of mercy.
Sedano Kap 418 in the Southland on a Monday afternoon. A major announcement Monday. Earlier this morning, we announced that the USC Trojans are back on 710 ESPN and ESPN LA. A multi-year deal bringing USC football here this fall, USC men's basketball and USC women's basketball. And earlier this morning, before we made that announcement, Sedano and Cappy got to spend time with the USC football head coach, the great Lincoln Riley. Let's check that out here on 710 ESPN.
All right, we have a very special guest here on 710 ESPN. And as you know, USC is back here on 710 ESPN. The announcement this morning that this fall, USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball will all be heard here on 710 and the all-new ESPN LA app. And our special guest this afternoon is Lincoln Riley, the head coach of your USC Trojans. Coach, we're so happy to have you here on 710 ESPN and this partnership. We're so excited to have you guys back. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Great to be back with you guys. We've got a lot of changes going on right now. Biggest of the bunch, obviously, going into the Big Ten. So fitting that we'd be back joined with you guys in this partnership.
Yeah, Coach, and I'm really excited, too, because I think after a touchdown is scored, when the lights go crazy at the Coliseum, like, it would be super cool if, like, it flashed across the lights, like ESPN, 710, Sedano and Kap, like, put our names up in lights. That sounds really cool to me. I don't know how you feel about that, George. Coach, you have a problem with that?
Yeah, you guys go 0-60 pretty quick. I like it.
Yeah, you know what, Coach? We know you're a busy man, so we got to take advantage of your time. That's how we do things.
I love it.
Coach, let me ask you this. I mean, you already mentioned the adjustment that you guys are going to have to make heading into a new conference. Well, what is the biggest adjustment, or what are some of the adjustments that you'll have to make?
Yeah, I think the biggest is just you're getting ready to play. Obviously a lot of new opponents. You're getting ready to play in a lot of new venues. Going against coaches, different skill sets, different offensive and defensive and special teams, systems and philosophies. So there's a major shift there, and yeah, probably doesn't feel too different to me. I think this will be the third conference I've coached in the last 4 years, so it's. You get used a little bit to some of the changes, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, listen, the games that this is going to create, the experiences for our players and our team, the experiences for our fan base, getting to go to some of these different venues, getting to have some really new, exciting rivalries they'll get to see played in the Coliseum every other week in the fall is really, really special. And so you're going into what is undoubtedly, one of the best leagues in the country. You've got really two that have separated themselves, and we get a chance to go be in this one. And it's new for a lot of people, but I think everybody would be, it'd be well served to embrace all the really cool things and moments and matchups that this union's going to create.
Coach, right now, being in mid-June, could you explain to everybody who's listening, including us, what you guys are doing? Because unlike every other year where the USC football team would be preparing for UCLA and Oregon and so on, I suspect you guys are probably scouting the entire league that you're moving into. Would you explain kind of like where you guys are in the process?
Yeah, certainly. No, that process starts, pretty quickly after the season ends. And you always get a chance to take a deep dive into your season, but then a chance to look ahead. And obviously this hasn't been a secret of kind of where we were headed and some of the opponents that were upcoming. So there's been certainly a lot of familiarizing ourselves with the future opponents here over the last several months. And then particularly right now, we're at a time where our players are back on campus. And so we've got an opportunity to get on the field with them, along with this being, maybe the most busy recruiting time of the year, really a critical time in recruiting. So yeah, June has become a pretty busy month, and with the added new opponents and conference move, that's even made it a little bit more important for us.
You mentioned the scheduling, right? And obviously the different portal schedules, the recruiting schedules. I mean, it is a 365-day year job now. There is very little downtime for you.
That's correct. Yeah, it has changed a lot. 10 years ago, June used to be one of the lightest months for coaches and their families and staff, and it's really shifted. They've tried to look at the calendar to try to find some ways to combat this, because you're putting a lot of people, because these college football staffs have gotten to be where they're pretty big across the country. And so there's a lot of people that are kind of working around the calendar, around the clock. And, with the current calendar, there's only kind of one way to get it done. So, yeah, I think it's something that's being looked at, and hopefully we can find some ways to ease it at a few points. But yeah, right now it is what it is, and there's a job to be done.
Coach, I am so glad you mentioned recruiting, because it's got to be so different now. You just said 10 years ago things were different. When you think about recruiting now, and you think about recruiting a kid out of high school and how long he may or may not be in the program, could you just explain where your head is when it comes to how you recruit in 2024 versus, just 10 years ago, and how you thought about recruiting given NIL and transfer portal?
Yeah, it's wildly different. I mean, you got NIL, you got the transfer portal, so you never know exactly how long somebody's going to be in your program, which makes it difficult. And then this is all getting ready to rapidly change again. Next July when revenue share is implemented, and the schools can directly pay the players, and there can be contracts, and we don't know all of the parameters around it yet, but we that is coming. And so it's changed a lot. There's still a piece of it that feels like recruiting of old. It's still about your program, your academics, the history of your program, your staff. I mean, all of those things. And there's still a lot of people that is very, very important to, but you've added those components. You've added a financial component, which, as we all know in the workforce, that's a factor for anybody who works. And then with the transfer portal, you've added kind of the component of not knowing necessarily who's going to be on your roster year to year. And so, I think we all recognize there's some flaws in our system, and hopefully the revenue share and some of the things upcoming will help that. But right now, we've tried to put our personal feelings aside from it, and basically, our job is to make USC the best we can, and to get USC back to competing for national championships on a yearly basis. That's our job. Whatever the parameters are that they give us to do it, that's what we're going to do, and we've tried to take that attitude as a staff here at USC, regardless of what changes have happened or upcoming. And we've tried to be innovative and figure out how we can make it best work for this program.
USC head coach Lincoln Riley joining us here on Sedano and Kap here on 710 ESPN. I'm currently, Coach, in Boston because I cover the NBA as well. So no Father's Day for me, unfortunately, on FaceTime. But with you in recruiting, were you able to balance some Father's Day duties with or celebration with recruiting yesterday?
It was about 50-50. We had an opportunity to get a little bit of the morning with our families, which was cool, and then had some recruiting camps and visits yesterday afternoon. So, which in June, getting at least a half day at home with the kids was awesome, and so anything that we can get, we'll take it.
Coach, two daughters, Sloan and Stella. How old are the girls? Girl dad. I got three of them myself. So tell us a little bit about the fam.
Yeah, they're 11 and 7. They're awesome. Super supportive of what I do, and then awesome just be able to kind of watch them grow up. And it's been really fun seeing them get a chance to grow up here in Southern California. They've got some great friends. They got a lot of extracurricular activities that they're involved in that keep both myself and especially my wife really, really busy. But awesome kids that I'm very blessed for, and makes it exciting every night when I get a chance to go home.
Yeah, no holidays, and it's working in sports. It's a very it's a very unique deal for sure, and the families certainly have to understand. But speaking of unique deals, you kind of alluded to earlier, Coach, about getting ready for the schedule and scouting new teams. I mean, the schedule you guys have is wild already. You begin with LSU, you got Utah State at home in your opener, and then you're at the Big House in Michigan. I mean, there's not a lot of holes in this schedule for you guys. How do you feel about the schedule in general, and how excited are you with some of the new additions to this schedule, with some of the additions you made to this roster to help you face that particular schedule?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a really strong schedule. We're going to play some great opponents, and we feel like our opponents are going to get to play a pretty darn good opponent too. So we're excited about those matchups. And listen, I mean, it's it's a hybrid schedule. I mean, there's parts of the schedule that were built, for the Pac-12 and kind of what we felt was necessary at that point. And obviously, there's a massive change, and it's what a lot of people may not understand is that these schedules are done years and years in advance, and so tough to predict all that's going to happen or all that's going to change. But we're excited about it. I mean, it's awesome to have a great opener. I think, I've been a part of a couple of those throughout my career, and I think the momentum in the offseason and the excitement towards, a marquee game, there's your opener is really a good thing. And so really looking forward to that. And then, you still have our rivals within this. You still have, and then obviously an opportunity to play several very quality Big Ten opponents. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great schedule. Our team, our players are really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, Coach, part of improving is not just with the players, but with the coaching staff as well. Would you talk to us about your new defensive coordinator and some of the additions that you've made to your defensive staff?
Yeah, it's a tremendous staff. It really is. It was a lot of work to get these guys together, but I really think we, really, I don't know that it could have turned out better. To be able to bring Danton Lynn over as our defensive coordinator was certainly the first and the key piece. Just a tremendous coach, has an NFL background. He did a fantastic job at UCLA last year. I mean, they obviously made a massive jump defensively, most improved defense in the country by a mile. And, just feel like he's an excellent teacher and fits everything that we want to be here. And then added some quality assistants, brought Eric Henderson over from the LA Rams, where, all he'd done is, develop the best defensive line in football the last several years. He's phenomenal. Brought Matt Entz, who was the head coach at North Dakota State and won multiple national championships there, both as a head coach and as a defensive coordinator. Brought him over as our linebackers coach, and his experience has been invaluable already. And then brought Doug Belk, who's the defensive coordinator at Houston, over to coach our secondary, and he turned down multiple Power 5 and NFL jobs to come coach our secondary. And so it's a great group of guys, a lot of just really impressive experience, guys that have been at the front of the room, and guys that are fixated on getting our defense to where I know it should be.
Oh, man. Keep going, Coach. Keep going. You were rolling.
Oh, man. Just excited about, just their impact on it. And you could tell, I thought spring ball, you could really tell, that our players are really grasping it, that the confidence is certainly rising. I think you can see it with our recruiting, especially on the defensive side. So, don't know that it could have turned out any better. And now it's just a process to build it into what we want it to ultimately become.
Lincoln Riley with us here on 710 ESPN. So I want to ask you about your current quarterback room, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Caleb Williams and just his career in general. And you've had him, from the beginning. And how proud are you rather, of what he's been able to accomplish and what he can still accomplish at the next level?
Yeah, super proud of him. He had a great journey in college, a unique journey. Obviously came here to SC after his freshman year, and he did a great job here. He was one of many guys that had a great impact and really helped us, I think, in a sense, get this thing off the ground to really gain the momentum needed in the beginning, which certainly has happened, and so. Appreciative for him and all of those guys here in the beginning. Those won't be the best teams that we have. Probably not even close. But somebody's got to start it if you're going to turn something around. And he and a lot of those guys here in these first 2 years deserve a lot of credit for that. And then certainly to see him, become the first pick and get a chance to go to Chicago and in some ways, kind of do the same thing that we started here at SC and take an iconic brand that maybe has been down for a little bit and go lift them up. And I know he's excited about it, the opportunity there. And that's you don't get opportunities like that very often. So for him, to go from being the high school kid that we were recruiting several years ago to now in this position is really, really cool, and I'm certainly extremely proud of him.
Yeah, and George, you mentioned the quarterback room that Caleb will not be a part of going forward. Coach, a kid like Miller Moss, right? This is a unique guy in today's day and age of college football because most guys get to a place, if they're not playing right away or if they look into the future and they don't see themselves playing, they're gone, like right away. This is a young man, though, that was all about USC, at least the way I see it. He was all about the school, all about the program, and he was happy to wait his turn. Has his turn finally come based on what he did last year in the bowl game?
We certainly can have a great chance at it. There's no doubt about that. He did a great job over the last 2 years. Obviously, was great in the bowl game, and really the 6 weeks leading up to the bowl game where he really took over as certainly one of, if not, the kind of most prominent team leader throughout that time. And so, yeah, he's got some good competition in the room with Jaden Maeva and Jake Jensen. So he's going to have to go win the job. I feel like the quarterback job at USC is something that should never be handed to anybody. But he's a tough job. And if he does, in fact, win it, will be a great story, not just for USC, but really for college football because, yeah, I mean, there's so many guys that just the first hint of adversity, they bail out. And I understand if you need a fresh start in the place you're at, it's just simply not working. But, I think a guy like Miller, he loves the school. He loves where he's at. He loves his teammates. And I think even the years that he wasn't the starter, he was developing. He was getting coached. He knew he was getting better. And at some point, if you're in a good situation, you've got to have enough faith in yourself and self-belief to say, I'm just going to keep getting better. And if I do that, this thing's going to take care of itself. And so, that's the bet that he's made on himself, and I think it's admirable. I think it shows his belief and again, his love for the school.
And Coach Maeva, he transferred from UNLV. I actually call college football for ESPN as well. I did his bowl game against Kansas this past season. For those that didn't get a chance to see him, obviously some experience, good player. What can you say about his skill set for those that are not as familiar?
Yeah, he is. He threw for over 3,000 yards at UNLV last year as a redshirt freshman. He's a big kid, 6'4" kid that can really see the field. He's got an extremely talented arm. Great kid, really hard worker. He's been a really good addition to the room, and I thought he did some really nice things in the spring, considering he's coming in learning a new offense. So I think he'll improve a lot throughout this summer, and looking forward to seeing kind of where he's at in fall camp. But certainly great to bring in somebody of his caliber into our room.
Hey, Coach, I know we've taken up a lot of your time here this afternoon, but I want to just ask you this. So when George and I went to the Caleb workout on campus, when you get there, you can see there's a lot of construction going on campus. But the football facility and the athletic facilities, I mean, to me, I've been going there for 20 years, and it's just legendary. And I think about the players and the coaches that have been there. But new facilities on the way, which is another important part of recruiting and keeping guys on campus. Can you tell us about what is coming for the USC football program in terms of facilities?
Yeah, massive changes. Completely standalone new football operations facility that will house essentially everything that we do in football, along with adding a new practice field, which has been sorely needed here for a long, long time. And this facility is going to be fabulous, both in its just functionality day to day, and then I think it's important when you have a football program that has a history that we have here, which is unparalleled. Like, your facility needs to represent that. It needs to be a reflection of that. So not just the players that come in, day to day to work out or to get treatment or to get prepared for a big game, but also, when our former players come in, when our former coaches come in, the people that built this program, when our alumni are able to step in there, it needs to be special because this football program is special. And so it's been, a focus point for us since the day that I got here. I can't wait for everybody to see, some of the final plans and what this is going to look like. I think it's going to blow people's minds, and it's going to be exactly what it should be at USC football, and that's the best.
Well, USC is back here on 710 ESPN. Again, USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball will all be heard from now on 710 ESPN. They returned back after a number of years not being on the station, but we're so glad to have them back at their rightful home. And we're so happy to have you, Coach Riley, join us today. Thank you so much for the time. Best of luck this season. I know we'll catch up soon, but thanks again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the offseason.
Yeah, appreciate you, Coach.
Absolutely, fellas. Spot on.
The head coach of your USC football Trojans, Lincoln Riley. The conversation earlier this morning with Cappy and Sedano. I enjoyed it the second time hearing it.
Yeah, I really had a great time with him. I know he's an all-business kind of guy, but, I like at the very beginning, he's like, man, you guys go from 0 to 60 pretty quickly.
Well, you warm it up.
Well, I tried to. You know what I mean?
As 98 Degrees once said.
Yeah.
Let's heat it up.
And we tried to.
You heated it up all the way to 98 degrees.
But
Let's heat it up. I'm down.
You'll notice, and I hope you guys are proud of me, that in our first conversation with Lincoln Riley, I did not ask him for 8 field passes.
Why not? That's what I was kind of
waiting
for.
conversation number 2.
Oh, so you're getting smart with it.
Conversation
because
2.
You have not heard from Magic about the Commanders.
Oh, no. Magic is down.
Oh, okay.
To hook it up. But what I really needed from Magic was I needed from Magic to get me 8 field passes for the Dodgers.
Oh, that's right. That's
when Ohtani's pitching. So, that hasn't happened yet. So that's what I'm waiting for. Yeah, thank you.
I mean, Yamamoto's not going to be pitching for a while.
That's true. He's not.
So you might want to wait till then.
No, wait. I want Ohtani pitching.
Okay.
That's when I'm going to cash in my Magic field passes. You know what I'm saying?
Your Magic
Thank you.
field passes.
That's what they're called now.
Thanks to Coach Lincoln Riley on this very special day here at 710 ESPN as we announce the Trojans are back. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball this fall on 710 ESPN and on the all-new ESPN LA app. Still to come, we'll do a little radio Tinder next, and Sean Cody from the USC broadcast team, and of course former Trojan during the Pete Carroll era and NFL 8-year veteran, Sean Cody will join us about 5 minutes after 5 o'clock. But first, Cappy's going to tell us about our friends at Coors Light.
Hey, I think today's one of these days where we celebrate. We talk about being chill all the time, and there's a time to celebrate. And on a day when 710 announces the return of USC football and basketball, that's the kind of day that I want to chill, but I also want to celebrate. And the best way to do it is with an icy cold Coors Light. Crisp, clean, refreshing, and dare I say, crushable. Absolutely. Let's all make sure we get our Coors Light. And the way you can do it is you go to your local liquor store, convenience store, grocery store, or you can even have it delivered right to the crib. All you have to do is visit this website, CAChooseChill.com, CAChooseChill.com, 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And when drinking that icy cold Coors Light, celebrate responsibly. Here comes Radio Tinder.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN. Coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans.
13 minutes in front of 5 o'clock on a Monday afternoon. Sedano and Cappy. Radio Tinder time. We like to play a TV theme or a wrestling theme. We lost them back in 2014. Yesterday, June 16th, happy birthday to the Ultimate Warrior. I used to love when he'd run out there just crazed. All hopped up on pixie dust.
Yeah. But I also love the makeup, you know, and also the way he tied those, like, things around his biceps so that his guns looked even bigger.
Oh, yeah.
God, he was
He was
great.
so vascular.
He was so,
like our friend Tom Looney, very vascular.
well, that's probably why he died in 2014.
Because of the vascularity?
Well, because of what created the vascularity.
Yeah, he had a heart attack while he was driving and drove into a tree.
No way.
That's not
Yeah.
good.
Was he dead before he hit the tree?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
Look out
I mean,
for
he
that
had a
tree,
heart
isn't
attack,
it?
so who knows?
By the way, the scene, the Morning Mount video, which was nominated as one of the 7 bits of the year possibilities, the best part about that video and why that was nominated over other mounts is when after you mount me, I left my back open and you mounted me, you pop your head up with the shades on like an Ultimate Warrior. Like the Ultimate Warrior. Brother.
Tell you right now, of all the Mandy nominations that will happen on Saturday night, you know, we'll see who wins. The one that I will tell you I want to win. You know, like everybody tries to act like they don't want to win.
No,
Everybody here wants to win.
And that's part of the problem around here this year. This ain't going to fly next year. Everybody going, oh, don't vote for me. I don't want an award. Oh, I'm going to be in my car as the Mandys are ending. You know what? Get in your car and drive and never come back here.
Well, I will
Anyway,
tell you
that's a
this.
whole other thing.
Let me tell you what I want to win. I want
Bit of the
to
year.
win Bit of the Year. If John Ireland...
But for 22-inch glizzy?
Right.
I think
if
there's
John,
no way you guys lose it.
If John Ireland's ChatGPT love letter to his wife and her calling into the show, if that wins, I'm going to just tell you right now, I'm going to be emotionally crushed.
Are you going to pull a Kanye? Where you like run up on stage and
I
like
don't-
interrupt the acceptance speech?
I don't know. I'll just say this, and I hope John Ireland is listening. The classy thing to do would be to just stand up there and go, hey, guys, I can't accept this award. Because Cappy and Morales deserve the award for the 22-inch glizzy. I'm handing it off to them, to the rightful winners of Bit of the Year.
That's right.
Radio Tinder time. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter and Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor. They'll be there Saturday night handing out the Best Segment Award. Will Radio Tinder win it for the 3rd time? I don't know, but I do know I'll be sipping Mandala on stage. I saw the bottle that's ready for the stage.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to sip it all night long. You know why?
No,
because
tell
you
me.
always swipe right on Tequila Mandala, founded in the city of Downey.
Just like me.
By the way, are the who's your guys, your friends from San Diego, the husband and wife?
Oh, the Bensons?
Yeah, are they coming?
The Benson crime family is
Because he
unfortunately...
tweeted about me being conceived in Downey on Friday.
Unfortunately, they are not coming
Why
because
not?
they're dealing with a family issue. In fact, I did reach out to them. And they said, hey, you know, I'll tell you honestly, I'll send love. Lori's mom's not doing so great.
I'm very sorry to hear that. We
Yep.
love you, Lori.
Yep, we do.
I love you more than Don.
I mean, honestly, we all love her more than Don.
Yeah.
I mean, we let him come to things, but the
Don's
fact is
great,
we
but
want her there.
listen, if you want 1960s Angels knowledge,
Right.
Don's
He's-
going to give it to you.
He's your guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want a nice charcuterie report, though, Lori's serving it up.
Oh, big time.
Smacking it, rubbing it down.
Oh, flipping it too. Don't forget about
Yeah,
flipping
yeah,
it.
flipping it, yeah.
You got to flip it in the middle.
And reversing it.
By the way, Jonathan Watson checks in on Twitter. He says that was Macho Man who died from a heart attack and crashed. Warrior died in his hotel room.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I get, their
Wait
deaths.
a second. I mean, wait,
you know.
Macho Man died in the same way that you said that the Warrior died?
Yeah, it's kind of easy to get them.
Coming up in about 15 minutes, Sean Cody will join us. But now, Radio Tinder.
All right, so
Take it away.
Thanks, Christopher. Adults are increasingly opting for simpler dumb phones to escape the addictive pull of social media and reduce excessive screen time. So obviously, this trend is like because people want to combat like negativity, like anxiety, depression, and FOMO, which we know that Cappy gets quite a bit of FOMO when he's on social media all day long. And retailers have come out like Dumb Wireless in Los Angeles, and they're seeing a big rise in sales as customers seek a more streamlined, distraction-free mobile experience. Would you ever go back to a dumb phone, Cappy? Swipe left or swipe right?
Ooh, I'm going to swipe left. No, I'm addicted to my phone. I am. I admit it. I'm addicted to the phone. And the thing is this, like a dumb phone can only really call people or receive calls, right? I
And
mean,
text,
can a
that's
dumb
it.
phone text?
Yeah.
But the dumb phone texts with like the numbers and the letters underneath the numbers, right? That's hard. I'm not doing that.
I think that they might make dumb phones now where you can do voice to text, though.
Oh, I don't even know how to do voice to text to my smartphone.
Why? You know how to do it with your remote.
That is true.
It's the same thing.
That is true. But every time I say like this, watch, I'll go like this. Hey, Siri. She don't answer me.
Well, you have to have it enabled.
Yeah, or you have to hold the button.
Yeah.
If it's not enabled, then you have to hold the button.
Do you guys know that the other day I was watching porn on my phone? Yeah, did I just say it out loud? Did I just say it out loud? I'm sorry. My bad. My bad, y'all. My bad. My bad.
Why?
Well, here's why. This is the why.
You a freak, man.
Here's the why. So I'm watching porn on my phone, right? And what happens is I put the phone down, right? And then like every 40 or 50 seconds, the phone goes dark, right? And I don't get to see what's happening because the way I've got the phone apparently like in the default settings.
Yeah, you have like battery saver mode on.
Right. So like I need it to never go off, right? So that I can see the whole video. Like I don't go to videos that are longer than 9 minutes. So I mean I need to have it so that it's like 9
know the
minutes.
exact amount.
You know?
9 minutes.
Yeah. Can't do that on a dumb phone. Chris, would you go back to a dumb phone? Swipe left or swipe right?
No, I wouldn't go back to a dumb phone.
Anyone else? Would anyone? Funchy? DeAndre, would either of you guys ever do it? DeAndre is like, no, I was raised in this.
I don't think I can go back
What's
because
up, Big D?
I'm a really bad driver. I need directions everywhere.
That's a good
That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
They make
That's
Garmin's
smart,
for that, right?
Funchy
Is
lover.
Garmin still a thing?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Is that
I don't
that
think so.
thing on your or what is it?
It used to be a
Yeah.
GPS.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to pay extra for it at the rental car company.
Big D, do you even know what a dumb phone is?
What is it? I'm assuming it's like one of those like razors and stuff like that.
Have you ever heard of a telephone?
Yeah, I've heard of a telephone. Yeah.
Because this right here, this smartphone right here, this is not a phone. This is a massive computer that has been condensed to fit in your pocket. Okay, you're carrying around enough power here. I mean, this used to be like the entire facility here at ESPN 710. Those were computers right here in the palm of your hand. See, but a dumb phone is just a phone. You can call people and you can receive calls. That's it. That's all you can do. Can't be
Exactly.
watching 9-minute videos.
No porn.
You know, I used to have a track phone where I used to go to the grocery store to get minutes and stuff like that. You know, I used to have one.
Was
of
that
those.
a dumb phone?
Pretty much, yeah, it was a dumb phone. That was my first ever cell phone.
All right, then.
All right, Funchy's got the next one.
All right, guys. This made some big news over the weekend. According to TMZ, Bill Belichick has a new love interest in his life. He's dating a 24-year-old former New England Patriots cheerleader. Now, Belichick met his new girlfriend on a flight in 2021 where the two bonded over a college philosophy project, and he kept in touch with her this whole time, basically.
So that he opened the door for her to be a cheerleader?
So wait a second. She was 20 back then?
Yeah. And they bonded over a college philosophy project that she had, and they kept in
amazing.
touch.
Wow.
Can you imagine that convo?
Yeah, right? How did that go on a plane or whatever? But anyway, is this new Belichick feat greater than his Super Bowl ring? Swipe left or swipe right, Mr. Kaplan?
I will swipe left. You got to remember, he's got 6 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
Okay? But it is impressive because here's the thing. Like, how old is Belichick? In his, like, late 60s?
Yeah.
70. I think he's in his
I think
early
he might
70s.
be- I think he might be like 71.
Can I ask everybody a question? Like, it's a nice thing if you're a 70-year-old guy and you're rich and you start dating a 24-year-old girl because she's hot.
And he was
she's
dating someone
good-looking.
for a long time, too.
Right, but
72, that's how old he is.
But come on, you're 72, she's 24. Don't give me this bonded over a philosophy
Right.
project nonsense. You bonded over what she has that you don't have. You know what I'm saying? Which is a hot body. You know? and look, all I'm saying is like I just can't imagine dating a woman who's 24 years old. I got daughters that are 22 and 21. I can't date a 24-year-old girl.
You know what they say about Bill Belichick, though?
What?
Cappy, you a freak, man.
He's a freak.
Yeah. I don't know,
He's a
Chris,
freak.
could you date a girl who's 21 years old?
I couldn't date a girl that was 21 years old when I was 21. I'm not into the younger thing, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know how like dudes like Leonardo DiCaprio does it. Like he just dates women that are not older than 25. I don't know how he has like anything in common. What did they talk about?
Dude, when I was 21,
Yeah, they don't talk about anything.
I was looking for women that were 40.
Same here.
You know?
That's what smart men do.
Well, that's because,
mommy, yeah.
Well, it's just one of these things like teach me what I don't know already.
Look at you.
It's funny you say that, Cap, because I dated a younger guy, and like that's exactly how he was. Just like I was like, you have no idea, like what's you know.
But I know older chicks though that date younger dudes.
yeah,
You know what
I
mean?
feel
Like,
like it's usually a bad idea
I
for
know-
that reason.
I know women that are in their like late 50s that will go out with guys that are 25.
Oh, yeah.
You
Really?
know? And it's and it's for the exact same reason that Belichick's going out with this girl, philosophy projects.
They're not like sitting down and talking, and planning their life together or anything. No, they're not doing that.
Let's get busy.
It's all about the experience.
You know what I'm saying?
All about the experience.
I know you do.
You got one more, Wins?
I do.
Okay.
So college bowl season used to be awesome, as we all remember. But in the last decade, more and more players have opted not to play in bowl games because, they want to protect their health and subsequently their draft stock. Well, now bowl games are gearing up to offer NIL contracts in hopes of convincing more players to actually take part in the games. So I guess any payments that student athletes receive for participating in bowl games can be part of a shared initiative between the bowls, the conferences, and the institutions themselves. And if the conferences and universities want to tell the bowl games, like, hey, we want these payments to go directly to the student athletes through NIL, they have the option to do that now, and it's pretty easy to execute. So do you think that this will bring star players back to college bowl games? Cappy, swipe left or swipe right?
I will swipe right. I think it will. Now, listen, if you're going to be a first overall pick and you're playing in the, Bahamas Bowl, which is like before Christmas, maybe not. But if you are going
How
to be...
often does that happen, though?
Well, probably not that often. But if you're going to be a first-round pick and you're playing in, I'm going to make up an example here, the Peach Bowl, which you're not playing for a national championship, but it's still a big-time bowl game, and you'd still like to be out there with your teammates. And yes, you are risking injury, but they're paying you at least enough to take the risk. I think a lot more star players will play in bowl games because they're getting paid.
Yeah, they said that the hardest hit bowls have been like the legacy games, like the Alamo Bowl and the Holiday Bowl and the Capital One Bowl, because I guess those are usually the second tier games that are guys that are just missing out on the college football playoff, but they're big enough to be like a first round draft pick. So I'm hoping, I always thought that if that were me and I was in that situation, if I got to a playoff, I would definitely play. But to your point, like otherwise, sit out for sure.
That's Radio Tinder presented by Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Award-winning small batch premium sipping tequila made from the finest mature agaves. Available wherever fine tequilas are sold or visit tequilamandala.com. Up your game and demand the extraordinary with Tequila Mandala. We'll do a quick What You Need to Know next, and then Sean Cody will join us as we continue to celebrate USC coming back to 710 ESPN this fall. Sedano and Cappy, nearly 5 o'clock in the Southland.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans.
USC Trojan in just a few minutes. But it is time for What You Need to Know. Cappy.
Yo. Presented by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Is that what you wanted me to say?
I just said it a few moments ago, but I'll say it again. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
Thanks, Christopher. All right, so earlier we were talking about how Cappy was told by his children that he got the greatest Father's Day gift ever, but he hadn't received it yet. And I guess maybe over the course of our show that you received it?
Yeah, so my daughter, Julia, who's 17, who, by the way, is going to college with Travis's son. They're both going to be freshmen at Cal Poly SLO next year in
Hey,
September. How about that, right? My daughter Julia said, Dad, I got you the greatest Father's Day gift. It's from all of us, but it hasn't arrived yet. And I'm thinking, like, what is it? T-shirt or something, whatever. Today, in the middle of the broadcast, I received a text message and she said, here's the Father's Day gift.
So do we need to like intro it or just play it?
I think we probably should intro it.
Okay.
As you guys, everybody who's listening knows, Chris and I sort of fancy ourselves as, we're Island Boys.
Island Boys.
Island Boys.
So my daughters apparently went onto Cameo and bought the Island Boy to send a Father's Day greeting.
Island Boy. All right, so let's hear it.
All right.
Scott, your little biddies, I just want to thank you for everything that you have sacrificed for them. You're the strongest person that they know and the rock to them. They wouldn't be the same without you because you're an amazing dad. Happy Father's Day from an island boy to another island dad. And I'm an island dad as well. Much love to you, man. And you're just a G dad. You're just like on top of the world, bro. You're an island dad. There's nobody like you, bro. Keep on going and don't ever stop. I heard you're a big fan of us and you have the wig over the wigs. That's cool. Much love to you, Scott. I'm gonna get my wigs very soon. And yeah, happy Father's Day, bro. I hope you had fun.
Come on, man.
So that's what you need to know.
You're a G-Dad.
I know, but they didn't do like, I'm an island boy.
Yeah, why
You might have to pay extra for that.
Or maybe that's extra $40. Extra $40.
Island Boy.
I'm an island dad.
I found Steve Mason on Cameo. We should set up like a dummy account and have him like, and send him stuff like that he has to say about us. See if he actually records it. If Juan allows him to.
I don't think Juan will allow.
You don't think
I
so?
don't think so, no. Is it cheesy to be on Cameo?
No.
Are you sure?
Hey, make your money. Make that money, Cap.
I'm telling you right now.
Cap, you get so many requests. I'm telling you.
So one of my best buddies in radio is on radio in New York City, and he goes onto Instagram and he goes, you know what would be the perfect Father's Day gift? A cameo of me wishing your father a happy Father's Day. Your father listens to me every morning. He's a huge fan of mine. Spend the $50, you cheap blah, 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 and get me a cameo to your father. And then he sends videos out when people receive these cameos, and they go crazy. Oh, my God, look at this cameo. Isn't being on Cameo cheesy, though? Is it? No?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it is.
You don't think so? So if tomorrow I have a Cameo account and I start talking about it on the air, is that cheesy?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's
No,
not
it
cheesy.
is. No, it is.
I think you would be great on Cameo.
I think you would too, man.
If you just did the bum, ba bum,
Oh, my goodness.
Bing, ba-da-ba. Yeah. All right.
Hey, Aunt Carol, your niece Janice
Your niece Janice. You
says
know her.
that you want to ba.
Rachel and I were driving out to the desert this weekend, and this song came on the radio. And I was like, I started going, bing, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, pick-a-ding, da-da. She's like, are you serious right now? I'm like, yeah. That's what happens when this song comes on. Believe me, everybody else does it too. All right, are we going to talk to Sean Cody?
Yep, calling him now.
All right. Well, that's what you need to know. What you need to know is my kids got me a cameo from the Island Bay. They should have had both of them, you know? You and I should do our cameos as Island Boys.
We should.
We should absolutely do that.
And shirtless, maybe.
Okay. I'm in. Anyway, that's what you need to know. It's brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are.
If you didn't hear the major announcement this morning, USC, the USC Trojans are back here on 710 ESPN. Starting this fall, we will be the home of USC football, the home of USC men's basketball, and the home of USC women's basketball. And don't forget tomorrow, major announcement number 2 at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow here on 710. Major announcements all week. As Mandy's week is rolling, we count down to Saturday night at the Commerce Casino. Don't forget, you can get those $25 Mandy's tickets right now, ESPNLA.com. Tickets go off of sale. Is that right? No, we stop selling them tomorrow at 7 p.m. So get them now. We'll also give away some tickets tomorrow here on 710 ESPN.
Sean Cody, ready to go?
Nope. Guys, there was an email this morning with the number in it.
It's not on there.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
it is.
Wait, so nobody has Sean Cody's number?
I got his number.
It's not on there.
Wait a second. You mean to tell me that this morning I saw an email that said, here's who's coming on at what time, and then Sean Cody's phone number was right next to it, and then now it's not there anymore?
It's not there. It's the only one that's not there.
Oh, come on. Let's all do better. Come on. Really? By the way, Sean Cody needs to do this, and I this may be a lot to ask of somebody, but and I have to Google map this to see how far it is. He got this pizza joint in Covina, and I'm telling you, I consider myself to be a pizza connoisseur, okay? And I'm telling you, the pizza is bomb AF. And there's a dude who works the pizza shop who's a big boy, big old fella, big old rascal. Mm-hmm. And when you work in a pizza shop, if you're skinny, I don't trust your pizza. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a big dude in a pizza shop if the pizza's going to be good. So Sean's got this pizza shop.
By the way, they were correct. The email didn't have the phone number.
Come on.
But we could have asked him, a little bit earlier.
I assumed he was calling us since it wasn't on there.
Is he there?
Wait a second. There was an assumption made?
Oh, yeah, God forbid. Every other show doesn't make assumptions.
No.
This show, though, we got such a crack team. Everyone's making assumptions, including you. Like, you're assuming you're going to have a job in 11 days if you don't sign that contract.
I may not. And by the way, speaking of crack, how about when Big D last week saw that dude on the streets lighting up his bowl of crack and
traumatized him.
DeAndre was like so scared. I'm like, don't worry, bro. I got you, man.
Listen, when Pete Carroll arrived in the Southland at SC, and nobody knew for sure if he was going to truly change everything, his first blue chip recruit
that's right,
was a local boy, named Sean Cody. And he joins us here on 710 ESPN on a special day. Sean Cody, you got Morales and Kaplan in the afternoon. Sedano's not here today. He's working the NBA Finals. But what's going on, bro?
What's going on, guys? Glad to be on. Heard we got some big news about the Trojans, huh?
Big news. USC is coming back to 710 ESPN, and that includes you, my friend. You are part of the USC postgame show and the pregame show, part of the USC Football Network, and as I can say now, the ESPN LA Trojans radio network this fall.
Woohoo, man. Happy to be back on, guys. We got a great show. It feels like I've been here doing this for a while now because we've been on ESPN before, and now we're back at it again, so feels good to be back home on ESPN.
Yeah, and Sean, last year when we came down to your pizza shop, it was me, Sedano, Beto, Lindsay. Like, we had a whole contingent of people because we were all going to this 7-Eleven where Andrew Whitworth was going to join us later that day. And I've been bragging about your pizza all afternoon. Can you give a shout-out to the name of your pizza shop and where it is for everybody?
Oh, thanks, Cap. Appreciate the love for the old pizza shop. It's Pie Trap Pizza in Covina. My brother's out there. We're out here trying to make some pizza. Yeah, we loved having you guys come out and sample the pizzas there. Hope you guys, it was up to your high level of expectations. I know Sedano's a foodie, so it was tough pleasing him. But, yeah, we love having you guys out, and we're having fun out there in Covina.
Well, what Chris and I do is when we leave the studio and we drive down to Orange County when I'm on my way back to South LA, we usually will stop in somewhere in downtown LA and we'll grab a road pie. We got to get somehow – we got to get you guys to bring in some pizzas one day. I know it's a little bit of a schlep from Covina into downtown LA, but we got to do that on the air.
No doubt. We'll get taken care of. My brother will find a way. If there's a way, Big Paulie will get after you. He'll get you some pies.
Yeah, Big Paulie. That's exactly right. Hey, Sean, it's so exciting to have SC back on the airwaves of 710. And as Chris mentioned, when you were coming out of high school, you were one of the biggest recruits in the country at the time. And this is all before, even though we're going back to the early parts of, the 2000s, this is before everything that's gone on in recruiting. Back then, as Pete Carroll was taking over and USC was not what it became, what made you commit to Pete and SC back then?
Yes, we're talking about way back before NIL and the portal era, guys. This is I'm a dinosaur of a guy now, so it was quite a while ago. But USC had been struggling for a while, and growing up in Southern California, I just wanted to be part of a turnaround. And Pete Carroll was coming in and excited about what he thought he could do at USC. Ed Ogeron was on as his defensive line coach, and he was motivated about putting together a defense. So those two guys together did a heck of a job in recruiting me, and we were excited about the direction we could take USC football back in and get back to those heydays of the McKays and the Robinson eras.
And then as a freshman, you didn't start immediately, but you a couple of games into your freshman year, you started to become a regular rotational part of that D line. Back then, again, 18-year-old kid coming out of high school, How was that for you to be like inserted immediately? Were you big enough? Were you fast enough? Because obviously things took off from there later your freshman year.
Yeah, it's a big transition going from high school to college and trying to play immediately. Obviously, especially in the trenches, as a offensive or defensive lineman, it's a little more difficult than the transition at like the skill positions because you got to be ready. Those are some grown men in there, and it took a little bit for me to get adjusted to the speed of the game and the size of the game. And Ed Ogeron thought, instead of having this kid out maybe at defensive end that's moving down inside and see if he can rumble with the big fellas in the interior of the defensive line, and I got comfortable down there, and then kind of progressed from there. And the fortunate, sometimes you need some breaks. We had maybe some injuries. We needed some guys in there, and I was ready to do it. So yeah, it's a lot of it's timing and then taking advantage of those opportunities. But yeah, I was ready to go. Just needed to bide my time until I could start getting busy in the Pac-10 at the time.
Yeah.
Pac-10.
All right. Sean Cody is with us. So Sean Cody, the former All-American defensive lineman at USC, the former NFL defensive lineman, and now part of the USC broadcast team and now part of the 710 family, back on 710.
A la familia,
right,
Cappy.
As USC returns to the airwaves of 710.
Now, of course, Sean Cody, the legend. He went to school in Hacienda Heights, but grew up in Whittier, as I grew up in Whittier, where the girls are prettier. And I got to ask you, in West Whittier, Sean Cody, you ever been to State Corral?
Oh, yeah. I visited Old State Corral once or twice. The Hacienda Heights. The Hacienda Heights kid, we'd venture over there into that State Corral once
in a while. Is that State Corral with the little cowboy outside? It's legendary. There's not a lot of places you can get a $12 steak anymore, and it's beautiful. It's old school. The State Corral. I'm going to have to take you there, Cappy.
Let's go.
The State Corral right there on Washington Boulevard in West Whittier.
A lot of hidden gems in the SGV.
Absolutely. Sean Cody, this fall, I mean, if you would have said before, especially when you were coming up, USC's going to play Michigan into Wisconsin, into Minnesota, and then Penn State, you would have thought we were talking about like a new playoff system and all bowl games. How exciting is it this fall? And we're so excited that the first year in the Big Ten is the first year back here with 710 ESPN. But which matchup are you looking forward to the most this season?
Oh, yeah, you said it. You said, Rouse, it lines up perfectly for this schedule here. You start off with LSU, neutral site in Las Vegas, and then you get going, man. It's bye week into Michigan and Wisconsin and all these great matchups. You think about bowl games and Rose Bowls and Big Ten, Pac-12 title games that have been played. It's a daunting task when you look at it. You look at that schedule and the way it breaks down with how many top tier teams we have to play in the Michigans and the Penn States. Still got Washington on the schedule, and then you finish with, of course, UCLA and Notre Dame. It's going to be a tough task for Lincoln and his boys, but I'm sure that they're going to be fired up for trying to represent well in their new conference.
Hey, Sean, I love the history of SC football. I got to ask you, when you guys won the national championship, it was 2004. Do I have the year right? 2004?
Yeah, 2004. I think they took away one from us. I can't recall if we're two-time champs now or if we won a championship, but it seems about right that we did something well there.
Well, if they're giving Reggie Bush's Heisman Trophy back, they should give everything back. all the records and everything that went along with it. But when
bring it back,
right? This is what I want to ask you though. Like when you think back to then, that's 20 years ago, and when you close your eyes, if I said to you, you're in the locker room, who do you see? Like just. Who do you see all around you on that 2004 USC team?
Yeah, when I look back, it's not like one name that pops out. It was just that we were a team full of guys that just bought into a program. We were a team full of, I think, maybe overachievers at some level that, Coach Carroll got us to play at such a high level. And it wasn't really you look back and you think about Matt Leinart and the Reggie Bushes and the Lendell Weiss, and you remember those names, but a lot of the guys who were doing the dirty work on those teams were kind of unsung heroes. And those are the kind of guys that I think really that whole era was built upon. I think about the Lofa Tutupus, the Matt Grudegoods, the Mike Pattersons, Alex Holmes. I mean, some of these guys, you may not, you ask a common fan, they might not remember those guys, but those are the guys who really, at the time stepped up into that era and tried to get that thing rolling in the right direction. And those are the guys probably that I'll remember the most when I think back on that era.
Yeah, I love to hear the names. I always, because again, you say Leinart and Bush and those guys, everybody knows those names, but I'm interested in the guys that you said, did the grunt work, like when you're on that defensive line.
The Ryan Khalils and Sam Bakers on the offensive line, Lee Webb's at fullback. Just a bunch of guys that, like I said, the common fan might not remember, but those guys really were really the base and foundation of that program getting turned in the right direction.
Now, here's the thing. I'm looking at the menu for Pie Trap Pizza, Sean Cody's pizza joint on Arrow Highway in Covina. And, Cappy, they got a pizza here called Straight Ballin'. It's got red sauce, mozzarella, ricotta, and your favorite, a meatball.
A meatball.
A meatball.
I love the meatball.
How's the meatballs over there, Sean? Are they good over there at the Pie Trap Pizza?
Handmade meatballs. We're making those every day. We're cranking out meatballs. Speaking of meatballs, that's Pete Arbogast's favorite pizza right there. Legendary voice of the Trojans. Oh yeah, he's a meatball guy. So you got, and those guys. We got a great team that comes in. You think about the broadcast team at USC. They supported me in everything I do, even with the pizza place. Jordan Moores and Sue Cravens and all those guys have swung by and check out the pizza. So yeah, we're having fun out there, and we're keeping the Trojan name alive out here at the pizza spot.
Any plans on expanding to go from one spot to multiple spots?
Oh yeah, if you guys got a spot for me right there if you guys got a spot right there in LA Live, we're ready to go. We're trying to get this first one under our rings and get everything situated here before we start expanding. I think it's been a fun thing for me and my brother. A lot of work, but definitely just trying to nail down this first one before we start looking out to get more available.
You mentioned the USC broadcast team. It's been an honor today. We had Jordan Moore on. We had Sue Cravens. We had Pete Arbogast. We had Coach Riley, Coach Musselman. It's been great, man, and it's great to end the day, what has been a landmark day here at 710 ESPN with you. The great Sean Cody, USC Trojan legend, 8-year NFL vet, and part of the USC broadcast team. Every week this fall here on 710 ESPN. And here's the thing, man. We're going to do a remote at your pizza joint.
Oh, dude, for sure.
And you're going to keep coming on with us. That's how it's going to work this fall, I think. You like that? I love that.
Let's do it, fellas. Let's get everybody out to the pizza joint. Represent the Trojans being back on ESPN. We're excited. Let's go. Fight on.
Absolutely. Sean, thank you so much.
I think we need to gorilla it, too. I think we need to, not do, full engineering. I think we need to, plug into the dartboard.
You want to plug in?
Yeah.
We just plug into the dartboard?
Yo, you got a dartboard?
You got hot Ethernet over there, Sean Cody? We just need an Ethernet port.
Wi-Fi is available, friends.
Sean Cody, thank you, brother.
There you go. Sean Cody stopping by.
Born in Whittier. Went to school at Los Altos High in Hacienda Heights. Mm-hmm. An L.A. boy. And part of the team here now at 710 ESPN. And Sean Cody's great. I met him first in Houston when I was doing radio. When I was doing radio in Houston, man.
Was he playing for?
Yeah, he was playing for the
Texans
Texans.
At the time?
Yeah, and he was great. He was great. What a great day it's been.
So awesome. So amazing. What an incredible day. All right, so we're going to lead up.
We're gonna walk it up.
Right.
We're not going to tiptoe.
No.
We're going to walk it all the way up.
Yep.
NBA Finals Game 5. Mavs and Celtics. Hopefully Adam gets to come home after tonight because we need him home for the Mandy's. That's coming up courtesy of ESPN Radio in about 11 minutes. Final segment, maybe a quick dealer's choice, and we'll see what Mishnigash we can get into.
Right. Before we do, though, I want to just say this. When it comes to Prize Picks, so I play Mookie Betts every single game. But with Mookie Betts now having a broken hand, that is a player that now is eliminated for me. So, just for example, yesterday I had Tyler Glasnow to have more than 8 strikeouts. He had 9. I had Freddie Freeman to have more than 0.5 hits. All he needed to do was get 1. He got it. I had Mookie to have more than. He did not get it, and has happened to Mookie Betts. So now, instead of playing Mookie and Freddie, now I'll probably play Freddie and Ohtani. So listen, we're getting ready to end the basketball season. Highly likely it'll be tonight. But then we're going to start moving into summer sports. It might be the WNBA that you want to play. Could be Major League Baseball. Oh, by the way, a lot of esports too. You guys know about League of Legends? Anybody know about League of Legends? Okay, right. You can actually play on League of Legends, meaning you can play the players of League of Legends. So the summer sports are coming, and then before you know it, it'll be time to kick off the NFL season in college football. Download the Prize Picks app right now. They will match your first deposit 100% up to $100. So if you put in 100, they put in 100, you play with 200, and now you join me and the 5 million other people that are playing Prize Picks all over the country. So get in on it now. Download the Prize Picks app. Use my code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y, for that one-time deposit match. Do it now on Prize Picks.
710 ESPN, and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN, coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans.
5:27 in the Southland, Monday afternoon. A major announcement Monday, and it's been a fun day all the way through here on 710 ESPN. The USC Trojans are back, Cappy, and this is our final segment song. When you hear this, you know it's the final segment. You know what I mean?
I do, and it's Tito's Cappy Hour also.
Oh, and it's Tito's Cappy Hour.
Right.
What a 5 o'clock hour it is on a Monday afternoon in the City of Angels.
Ooh.
By the way, June 17th, 1994, the 30-year anniversary. They're running the 30 for 30 right now on ESPN. What a day that was. Of course, the OJ chase, but everything else going on in the world of sports that day. And that's what the 30 for 30 is about. I remember that night, and I've talked about this before.
Big time.
My dad and I were at the Dodgers game, and all of a sudden, there's a buzz going on in the stadium, and people had like little mini TVs. And by the way, back then, a mini TV
Dude, it was like a little Sony Walkman kind of thing.
And
with an
all of a
antenna.
sudden, on the scoreboard, on the video screen, Dodger Vision,
Yeah.
bam!
They showed
the
it.
chase goes up.
I can't believe that's amazing.
What a night it was. And then that night, I remember going home and my mom going, what happened at the game? I said, OJ. Now she goes, no, not that. That night, I got chicken pox. That like she found a bump on my head, and then the next morning, I was all full of chicken pox.
Oh, my
so
God.
I remember June 17th, 1994 quite well.
The day I got chicken pox.
The night I got chicken pox, and the night that OJ shut down the highways and byways.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows exactly where they were.
I was
on that
watching
night.
Game 7,
Same.
Right?
Knicks and Rockets.
Right,
And
exactly.
then they made that a small screen,
Right.
and they put the OJ chase in the big screen.
I mean, think about that. How famous you have to be, because as I recall, the NBA Finals were on NBC back then.
Yeah.
And OJ was, I'll say, related to NBC.
Well, no, he worked for NBC.
Because he was working for them.
Yeah, that's right.
So not only was he ultra famous as a football player, but as a corporate pitchman, as a movie star, but he was also a guy. Because I'm going to tell you guys right now. Earlier in 1994, it was probably, I guess, what was the date on this? July 17, 1994? June 17, 1994. So then it was probably December of 1993. I was at a Steelers game. Steelers were playing the Chargers in I want to say it was the AFC Championship game. So I got to make sure I'm getting my dates right, which I think I'm off a little bit. But I remember how OJ was there as a commentator on the pregame show, and it was like the first time I'd ever seen.
And he was
OJ
probably
in,
wearing those
real
gloves
life.
on the sideline.
Yeah, and the
Bruno O'Malley shoes.
right? And the like tan color NBC jacket,
Yeah.
And I was like starstruck because I was like a little kid, There
I
he
thought
was.
Evan Cohen this morning had a great comp. Imagine if The Rock all of a sudden was in a police chase.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really?
O.J. Simpson? Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Movie star, actor, athlete, spokesperson. Everybody loved him.
Yeah, I mean, like if tonight, for some reason, there's a police chase during this game, if it's The Rock, they're going to interrupt the game.
Yeah.
If it's Bill Goldberg, shout out to my boy, they're not. You know what I mean? If it's Chris Jericho, probably a better example. They're not stopping the game. Wrestler Chris Jericho is on the 405 in a white Bronco. It's not happening. But
You
if
know
it's
what
The
is
Rock,
happening, though?
Yeah, what is?
We're going to hear George Sedano, along with the whole team. NBA Finals Game 5, courtesy of ESPN Radio, right here on 710 ESPN. And here's the thing. I know Lakers fans, I'm one of them nowadays.
Yeah.
We don't want the Celtics to win.
But
it's going to happen.
But we want George to come home.
We want George to come
Sedano.
home for the Mandy's.
Right.
So let's get this whole mishtigosh done with, please.
Yeah, right.
By the way, we are the new home of the USC Trojans. What
Anybody
a day it's
know
been. Yeah. What?
Anybody hear that? Anybody know about that?
What if it's a new audience? We got to keep
No,
selling.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
You don't know how to do radio all of a sudden?
I'm just learning. But I'll tell you this right now. You, my friend, are looking good.
And don't forget, after the game tonight,
Yeah.
our
in
first
your USC
our
cheerleader outfit, by the way.
Thank you. Our debut episode of The Road to the Copa. Road to Copa with Mario Ruiz and Dave Denholm. That's tonight.
Road to the Copa.
It's Road to Copa.
Road to Copa time.
The beautiful game.
The Copacabana.
What's goody? What's goody?
What's goody? What's goody? Hey, Chris, is the imaging done for Road to Copa? We'll see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock for a live imaging Tuesday. Don't forget, 4:30 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, another major announcement during Major Announcement Week. Right now, though, we join the NBA Finals, courtesy of ESPN Radio on